And
Hey, everybody. There is Bike Night. Let me start over. Hey, everybody. My name is Hal Pilgrim. I'm either friends with you on Facebook or we're friends in real life. Um, Tonight at my house, we're having a welcome home party for me. Don't know why I have to do this shit myself. But I'll do that. I just got out of the hospital at 1 a.m. Um, Tuesday morning. On Thursday of last week, I fell twice in my bathroom and I fucked up my back real bad on the first. And then on the second one, I shattered my ankle all the way through the heel and I had to reset it and put a splint on it. So now, exactly one week and 1 day later, I've still got my splint. I've been staying off of it, keeping it elevated, doing all the right things. Good for me. I'm not. Some people think I'm childish, but really, you get too old for that shit. So anyway, so I've been home for uh, 1 week yesterday. I decided I've got people crawling in my trees. I need people to bring over some chainsaws, and I'm taking my trees down completely. Okay, so um, so there's that. I also need. I'm sorry. I got a I got a dang pop up message, which took my focus away from the video. So sorry about that. Um, so I decided because anybody tell you I'm just the most stuck up, self centered, egotistical, sorry son of a bitch, cowboy brought up, stump jumping, Texas born native. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Uh, what were we talking? Oh, yes. You might find this interesting. Tonight, since none of my Facebook friends, either in real life or that are in my contacts, not one person, I put out a bunch of posts out there that says, hey, Russell, call me. Grant, call me. I've got work for you guys. Okay, I'm doing a bunch of remodeling to my house, so this is part of that. So maybe some of the brothers out there will, be able to help with some stuff. I need some sledgehammer. I need any kind of heavy equipment. I can go rent it myself, but if somebody can help me out so that I can get it done, then it's expensive. I can run all the equipment myself, build those stuff. Don't give a shit if it starts, I'll ride it. All right. So, um, so to try to move along with this recovery and with the remodeling that I'm doing on my home and the swimming pool I'm having built and the music stuff I'm going to start promoting and see, I'm going to start doing some other work. You guys can tune into my channel and find out what's going on. But I've just started, or I'm just starting an LLC, and it's going to be called Pilgrim's Prayer. And I'm going to work with all of the nonprofits out there that are trying to help people, right? This world, United States right now, we need some action. And we need it out of our Congress right now. So call and write to Congress. Call Newsmax. Watch me on newsmax.com maybe in a few weeks. It depends on, I got so much shit going. Excuse me. Let's see what else. Oh, so anyway, for all the border crossing stuff we have, I'm gonna see if I can get on the DHS, and I'm gonna meet with Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz, and I'm gonna take a trip down there and visit myself and get some footage and see if they'll let me ride the helicopter to videos and stuff. I need to find out exactly what's going on with my own eyes, right? Because that's how you know. Get those sorts of you know what's going. Okay. So anyway, so I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with that. I'll be doing podcasts about what's going on with that. I'll be on the news media. I will be, well, I'm going to be on national television. I'm going to be on Newsmax. And anything that I can do to partner with President Trump. MAGA baby, we get sit down with the guys we needed back. Make America Great Again in 2024. Let's get the vote out. And I'm going to be working on that. So I'm going to join Trump's campaign. I'm going to take some time off and start going and setting up. I'm going to do a travel trailer. And I'm going to travel all over the country and promote the Republican Party. That's what I am. I've always, my whole life, I really believe in what they try to do. They're just not, they just need some help with what's going on right now. Personally, I'm sick and tired of hearing everybody cry about shit. You know what? Yeah, we got problems. Uh, the current administration is not going to do anything about them, right? Let's go, Joe. He's not going to do shit. All he's done is wreck everything that Trump put out there in the first place. So thanks a lot, Joe. You know, just stop what you're doing. Department of Homeland Security, my message to you is let's lock the border down except for the entry ports right this minute, and let's finish the wall. Let's keep them coming in. These people need help. You know, everybody's mad about it, but they're just, everybody's so thoughtless these days. They're just stuck in their own little world with their thoughts. That's not too cool. So I'm going to see about getting all of the migrants, the illegal migrants, back from New York. They said they were a sanctuary city, but now they can't do a damn thing. Send them back to Texas. I can put them to work. I have a lot of contacts in various businesses. We can get them all jobs and housing, making a real sustainable, like $30 an hour or maybe even more, right? Easy, no worries. Um, we could put them on plantations for less. Well, no, let's take 30. We'll just say 30. Just 30 Well, let's say 45, 50, 50,000 a year. That's a good starting point for anybody these days, right? That's some real money right there. That's over $100,000 a year. And we can get them set up within the Social Security system, tax system, IRS, with, let's see what else. Okay, immigration and naturalization. I'm going to partner with them to get me a bunch of forms, whichever one it is, I can't remember. But I need people. I've got 6 Latin Americans working for me in my yard right now. They're cutting 2 trees down for me, and they're getting paid very well for doing it. Plus free beer. Who gets at it? Hey, let me go to work for this Pilgrim dude. What the fuck is he up to? Let's see, boy, I need to meet Chad Prager. I love that guy. I need to Chad. If you somehow see this, or if somebody can forward it to Chad, um, thank you so much. Please do so. We've got so many people. So I need and some things that you friends can do for me. And you can just do it right down in the comments. Use comments. Like it if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. I expect all of my dislikes to be R and C, okay, and all of my likes to be. I'm sorry. I expect all my dislikes to be DNC, and I expect all of my likes to be R and C. That's just how it is, when you talk about the truth and what's going on. Uh, the message I'm saying is for the Republican Party. The Democrats will absolutely hate it. They'll probably get me dead or something. I'm going to have to hire a goddamn uh, crew of bodyguards now that I'm opening my mouth and saying all this crap. It's dangerous. Hillary has got, everybody has been disappeared, they say. Most of them suicide, they say. Hillary bleached bit her email servers that she had set up in her house. Illegal as shit to have them in there in the first place. In the second place, she um, deleted all the information off of them with bleach there. And then for everybody's Blackberries and personal cell phones and shit like that, they took them and beat them with hammers and then got rid of them. Did I say that right? Yeah, that's what they did. You know it was in the news. She never got convicted or indicted for one single thing, and she did Benghazi. Do we remember that? I do. Where all those people got killed at our embassy, and then who could got the fuck out of there and let some of our boys, people, some of our citizens, as well as some of our military there to die. Then let's go back a little bit to when Clinton, when they, sorry, bear with me just a second. Uh, when the Clintons left the White House, they tried to steal furniture and dinner plates and glasses and fine china and silverware. Who the fuck does that? They're criminal. Nobody ever brought any indictments about any of the stuff that they did. None of it. We're going to change that. It's getting hot in the movie right now, so let's see some parts change. I like that. It's going to happen. They're going to have to answer for this thing. Now, Wednesday, excuse me, I don't know why I'm forgetting this word. I need another beer, but I'm going to try to finish it real quick. Back to the Clintons. Let's start with the Obamas. Do you remember the Obamas and their Too Big to Fail, where they gave $150 billion to top three, so like JP Morgan Chase and America, Bank of America, and I forget who they paid. Uh, they gave them $150 million, I think it was, or maybe even billion. Who knows? They like saying billion a lot and trillion. And they're using big words. We're just people. You know what? We pay our taxes. We want to be happy, have our kids be safe at school, and have the school boards for all of our wonderful schools go back to saying the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning, right? For anybody who wants to. And let's get our statues back out. That's our history. How do we remember our history if everybody complains and takes the shit down? And that forces spray paints it complains, I don't like him. Well, it is part of our history. That does not give you the right to go to his statue down. No, it doesn't. No, let's have our national monuments restored or rebuilt. That's what I love that. Let's see what else. The schools, if they want to, I'm sure the ones that are on the right, conservative schools, will be happy the teachers that are conservative, will be happy to take the kids out to the flag, put their hands over their heart, and sing the national anthem like we did when we were kids. That was so cool. We got outside. There's one example. These kids today whine too much. Uh, the other thing, we had tornado uh, drills where they get us in the hallways and underneath desks and things like that to run the drill. They pull us out of all the classrooms, turn the signs on, and we all go huddle somewhere that they have designated for a safe spot in case a tornado or at that time, that they were really worried about was the nuclear and we all did. I remember doing it all the time. It was the greatest thing because I love my country. God, yes, I do. God we trust. Let's get that back. Okay. Everywhere they've removed it, let's get it back. Think about it. Give me some input. I want to hear some thoughts from you people. This will help me with my time. Uh, what else? Uh, the the effort for them, all this transgender stuff and everything that they're trying to do with gender identification and surgery and teaching them all that screwed up gender queer ideology in the schools. Our kids don't need that. They'll learn everything they need to know when they hit puberty, just like we did, and we always have as a human race across this world. Since Jesus, baby. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, and on the school boards, we've got a lot of power there. Let's do this for the school boards. This is my suggestion. Let's get rid of all of them. Let's rehire them as conservatives, and let's get all this gender, gay, queer stuff out of our schools. That's just terrible for our kids. We never had that. People knew if they were gay or not. We didn't really talk about it. So now it's okay. Hey, I'm gay. Oh, really? My name's Hal. Nice to meet you. You having a good day? Yeah, man. Nice to meet you. Take it easy, brother. Jesus loves you. If you are gay, I don't care whether it's L, lesbian, G, gay, B, bisexual, I think it is, uh, T, trans. It just doesn't belong. It's not right. Trans people should call themselves uh, performers of adult entertainment and go work in a club and get adults in there that want to go see a drag show. And the people that like that stuff, the adults only now, keep our kids out of these every place. Let's keep them out of gay parades. Uh, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and stop this for a second. Hey, Jeff. It's going good, man. Hey, I didn't have, no, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I haven't had, I lost the links. I think I've still got it, but the links you sent me for everything, like those, like getting them to set up an account for me, all that stuff that you were trying to help me with. I lost the links. So just send me, yeah, resend me that stuff if you would. I appreciate it. And then I wanted to let you know that I'm having a welcome home party at my house tonight. Come whenever you want. It doesn't matter. Just show up. I can send you the address. There's going to be a ton of musicians there, so I'd like to see as many Guitar Center people as I can here at my house with hands full of Guitar Center cards. I'm going to get you guys so much busy. so much money you're going to put me on payroll. Okay. Well, goddamn you! You know I'm spending $10,000 with you, Jeff. What's the deal? You don't. Where's the love, man? I'm really feeling disappointed. Okay, well, listen. I'm going to text you my address and the information on the party, and I want you to share it with all of the people the person, all the employees. Okay. Oh, all right, dude. I'll talk to you later, and I'll send you some information to you. Thanks, Jeff. Bye. Wow. I just snorted in a big old snort in. I'm sorry. I thought I had paused this session. So if you saw that, I've, I've been downstairs sleeping in a chair for 2 weeks. I can't get upstairs to go to the bathroom or anything. So I've been peeing in a cup and pouring it in the toilet and flushing it. And my sister bought me this wonderful chair that you might be able to see a little bit of it behind me. I'll rescan later, get things cleaned out. But she bought me this $2,000 stand-up chair, and it will go into any position you could think of. It's perfect for anybody that's got some health issues or they have family. It's 2,000 bucks. If you got it, you've got somebody hurting in your life, or you send the information over. I'll get the links to post. Okay. Let me see if I can finish up the political part of it. So, MAGA baby, right? Let's drain the swamp. Let's make sure that this is the only term that those two, Sleepy Joe and cackling, uh, whatever her name is, the VP, she hadn't done a fucking thing her whole time in office, so no wonder I can't remember her name right now. She's not on my mind ever, except for when she fucked up down at the border. Didn't even go to it. She went to El Paso. El Paso is where Texas has a regular uh, way into the United States where people coming into the United States from Mexico have to stop at a checkpoint for customs and immigration. Okay? We need to stop everything right there. Why not just stop it? Okay? Anybody that does approach and they're trying to sneak in, they don't have their papers, I'm going to go down there and see about, uh, let's see about getting with DHS if I can as a consultant. I do a lot of consulting work. So if you need a consultant, anytime, seriously, call me anytime. My name's Hal Pilgrim. I've consulted for 30 years. I worked for Microsoft for 14 years. I worked in the last plant in Seattle where I had one of my 4 back surgeries. When I was 4 years old, my grandfather retired. He had a billy goat, a big male billy goat. And he named that billy goat Where's My. Can you believe? Isn't that the funniest thing? And then when my mother got divorced when I was 2 years old, he took us all in and he built an 80-acre farm and ranch. And it was called Where's the Farm? People would ask him, "Hey Charlie, what do you mean? What's with Where's the Farm?" And then my grandmother, her name was Moots, she would cut in and go, "That's me. We named it. I had them name it that because Whenever Charlie comes in the house, he always goes, Meeks, where's my this? Meeks, where's my that? Meeks, can't find my car keys, blah, blah, blah. So she named the farm, where's my, took care of his house. And so they got some good talking points and something to share and get a conversation with just wonderful uh, people that they have been around. They did so much good. Um, my grandfather during the baby boom, he sold baby furniture. How about that? He was a thinker. And he did that until he retired. And when he retired, he moved to a retirement. Well, first, yeah, he moved to a semi-retirement place with him and Meeks did. My mother's name is Gretchen Pilgrim. My father's name is Hal Pilgrim. My name is Hal W. For not so, my name is Hal Wilson Pilgrim Jr. I named after my dad. He was in the military, in the Navy, through both the Korean and the Vietnam War. So he ended out of Vietnam. He was in specialized training for the SEAL teams, is what he was doing. And I can't remember the other title of his job, but I'll get it from my brother's too. So he was in the military, in the Navy, serving our country from 1952 until 1976. After the Korean War, my father, Lieutenant Commander, was his rank at the time. He stayed through both of them. For Vietnam, he did four deployments in the Pacific. That's a long time doing a lot of stuff. And he was a trainer. He taught the scuba teams how to, he was a DOE, or underwater demolition expert. And he was also a scuba diver. And the person that he most wanted to meet in this world was Jacques Cousteau. We thought Jacques was shit. And my dad loved French. He tried to get me to take French when I was 14. And when I went home, I went and stayed with him. He put me in Austin High School in Austin, Texas. And one of his requirements was take French. Well, guess what? I was too busy smoking cigarettes and getting high behind the gym. So I got an F in French. Well, this was 1974 or 5. Can't remember. But what happened was, I won't tell the whole story, but I'll tell it so you get this story. I was always in trouble. I was living with my divorced mother in Dallas, Texas, and she was working to raise 4 children. And she did it, God bless her soul, I don't know how she did it. And I was always getting in trouble. I mean, always. I drove her crazy. I made her cry so many times. And I was so self-centered that I didn't realize what I did to her. And now that I've found the Lord, and I'm older in years, I understand what she had to go through just to raise us. Being a single mom of 4 children, working at Children's Hospital in Dallas, Texas. And uh, my family, all my brothers and my sister and brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, and grandchildren of those siblings, my brothers and sisters, all their children. I think my sister's got 8 kids that she has raised all over the world doing charity work. I used to have a thing called Hands Across America. And they would get church groups that were bilingual in Spanish, and they would go down to like the most terrible places. We need to do this again. I'm going to find out how we can, how those are going to get involved. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, she's got 8 kids. She birthed a couple of them on third floor in Mexico, I believe it's true. Don't hold me to it, but I'll get confirmation from her. And then after doing that for about 10 years, they had their 8 children. Then they packed the whole, she homeschooled all of the children. Let me tell you, they come out perfect. They're all God fearing, God loving, and they are the American dream children. They're all college educated. They all have wonderful jobs in their adult lives, making very good money. Everybody's very successful on both sides of the family. And and then my brother, so my sister's name's Peggy. She's got a kid. I'll figure it out. My oldest brother's name is Mike Gordon, and he works at a place called the Grand. It used to be Watt Stopper. They do lighting installations for lighting automation, and they do that all over the world. Actually, I think the group that they became, I think Watt Stopper got absorbed by Legrand, and Legrand is a worldwide company. So they're doing business everywhere. They've got some, call me or text me, leave a comment. If you'd like information on that, I'll get you that. So we don't have to go down that other way. So Mike has got a beautiful wife and 2 children. Clinton Pilgrim is his oldest son, and Zach Pilgrim is his youngest. And Zach just got married a year ago. So way to go, Zach. Proud of you, buddy. I hope y'all just living it up. The wife's going to put for you at work and personal life. Love you. Then, let's see. So it's Mike's oldest with Clinton, his wife, his kids are, his wife is not Liz. His kids are Clinton and Zachary. Uh, and so I just said all the stuff out back up the same thing. Then came Peggy, her husband Steve, last name Seeger, and so Seeger, 8 children, and I don't know how many grandchildren. I mean, they're just, man, I believe she's a Christian. True Christians don't like contraception. They like uh, for people to get married to bring children into this world so that we can move the world forward and there will be our future generation, our leaders, and all the wonderful things that these kids now will have to do for this country. So I'm hoping we can get a lot more kids with the college education that they pay for themselves, either through hard work. I had jobs since I think I was 8 years old, and I used to work at the local barber shop over by White Rock Lake. That's where I grew up, off the North Cliff on a street called Midlock. And there was a barber shop up in the local, I think it's called Lake, it's whatever, I'll get the name. But it was if I wanted to go to the lake, I'd go down North Cliff, straight towards the lake. When I got to the shopping center, which was about, well, let's say it's 10 blocks down North Cliff Drive. When I got there, I'd go to get my hair cut at that barber shop. Always had kind of long hair. But, they did real nice haircuts. The chief boss, oh, his name was Bernie. And he was cool as Steve. He was bald, and he grew his hair real long on one side. And then in the morning when he got up, he'd take a shower, wash his hair, condition it, and then he'd take it from the side and he'd wrap it in a do kind of like that. Kind of like Trump does. But he did it, he was barbering. So he did it so professionally, or he'd go, if he was running late or whatever, He just go to work, and we have two guys working for him, Jimmy Pete, and I can't remember the middle chair. I can't remember that fellow's name. All Texans, all Republicans. Like this country. I started there working when I was 8 years old, and I was sweeping the floor for 50 cents an hour, and I was shining shoes for 50 cents a pair. And I was up there all the time on the weekends and all summer long. It was right there in the barber shop for about 1 or 2 years. I think it was I don't know. But I shined shoes and swept hair all day long. I made some money. Yes, I did. Because they got big. Everybody dressed so nice back then. Everybody had dress shoes. They'd come in to get their hair cut. They'd come over to me, or they'd just hand me their shoes. If they didn't want to sit in the chair, they just wanted me to have them ready for them when we left. And I would shine the mother loving heck out of a time they would deal with this. So mostly I just take them over to the chair, to the shoe shine chair, and just do them over there while they were getting their haircut, getting their face done. And they were already had their, everybody dressed so much. They were already dressed very well. So I would spit shine their shoes until I could see my own face in it. And they were like that did very well there. I mowed lawns, raked leaves, uh, and all this when I wasn't getting in trouble because I was a little jackass. God bless. Thank you, Lord. I give myself to Jesus just for allowing God to get through what she had to go through with me. Mike, when he got about 17, he went in the military. So we've got a lot of, even back to what we've just got a lot of people in the service. Except me and my brother Steve, we were us got Vietnam was over. There was no conflict. We hadn't gotten to any of this Desert Storm or Operation, whatever the heck it is, secretly what's going on, and get those weapons of mass destruction and smoke them out of their hidey holes. Bush. Man, only a mother can love that guy. He caused a lot of problems, so I'll talk to him on another segment. Let's get out there and vote. I'm just going to cut it here for a second. So let's all get registered. If you're not registered, let's vote this year. And if you're a Republican, I sure hope you'll vote with me. And I hope you'll go to Trump Truth Social page and be active on that. Be very, tell them what the hell's going on. I'm going to say, what have you done to this country? What have you let them do to this country? Donald, Bubala, you fixed everything. The economy, the crime in the streets, you raised the, big budget for crime. That's a good thing to have a budget for. You think so? Yeah, I do. And MAGA went wild. We were the deplorables, was what Hillary called us after trying to steal the fucking China from the White House. She is a top-notch criminal, and she has gotten so many people disappeared. The ones that we know anything about, they've been supposedly, like Epstein and all the others, died of self-inflicted suicide. Wendy Bell, watch her show on Newsmax. You can tune in, get the app on newsmax.com, or you can tune in on your TV to whichever, whatever service they broadcast in your area. So the breakdown goes like this. If you've got cable service, find out where they are or request them from the public provider. If you've got the new TVs, I've got smart TVs everywhere. And so I can cast music or these live streams or anything I want to on Facebook, on uh, I don't have Twitter. I don't have Twitter. Don't want to have it. Too many, too many, too many. That's for me. That's my personal thing. God love them is what we say. Bless their heart. So, so God love them. And down in the South, we say, well, bless their heart, which means they're idiots. We all know what we're saying, but we're not going out and telling them to their face that they're idiots. We just say, bless their heart. I love it. It's been around a long, long time. Grew up in comp pies. If y'all have comp pies in Texas, look it up online. Maybe I can get some links and get some real Texas and Georgia pecan pie. That's how you say it, not pecan. Pecan pie. When somebody tells you how to pronounce it, say, I learned from a born and bred Texas guy that was doing some damn MAGA thing on YouTube, and he did his tutorial. And I put another one out there just telling people how to say stuff. So let's see. Okay, so back to me. I was always in trouble. I smoked cigarettes and marijuana from when I was 12 years old until today. Everybody tells me it's going to kill me. I need to stop it, grow up, and do that. That's one of my. If you ask me what's my biggest failure, the busted right here. Uh, it's just I've done it so for I think 50 years now. Smoked cigarettes and marijuana, and somehow I've just not ever gotten any type of cancer of any kind. Thank you, Jesus, Lord. Uh, and then for the drinking, a wiser, not Bud Light, screw Bud Light and all of them with the LGBTQ agenda and the going away. Those things are destroying our country, our kids, and our lifestyle here in the United States, and they're causing issues with our economy, with inflation and everything else. So we need to fight together to knock that out and just say, look, I don't care what you are in your personal life. I just hope you have love and Jesus in your heart and that you're happy. Other than that, if you're a Democrat or any gay thing, uh, this is not, Florida is not a don't gay, say gay state. That's just something that the liberals made up because they hate Ron DeSantis and all the things he's accomplished in his governorship. That dude's terrible. So I want to meet you, Ron, if you happen to see this, and be on TV together with you, maybe on Newsmax. We could get something set up. I'll get in touch with Newsmax. Chad Prater, if you see this, uh, please get in touch with me. Anybody that knows Chad, I've got him on Facebook, so I will confront him on Facebook to try to see if we can meet. But if anybody knows him or knows or has him on their Twitter feed, uh, please leave a tweet on there for Ron DeSantis on Twitter. I think he's got a little bluebird. He's good. He's a good Republican. Trump gives him shit, but he has really moved some mountains down there. Tell or just post up there that I would like to get to meet. And in person, and I'll be happy to fly to Florida to do that. So maybe there's agents or there's administrative staff or somebody that reads the tweet uh, will see that and will help arrange it. And when you do, uh, please post my information to the tweet. Um, my channel is called Pilgrim Productions, and uh, my campaign is the Republican Party. Um, I want to start seeing about getting all of the rhinos out. That's my plan. They need to go. They're just causing problems. So see, they've got the House, but they've got the Senate. So all the money comes through the House, but then Democrats are vetoing, or they're not vetoing, they're voting nay on everything that the conservatives put forward. And then the rhinos, along with the Democrats, are also voting nay. The damn rhinos, you know who you are. Get with your party or get the fuck out. That's what I got to say to them, right? Let's drain the swamp. People have been talking about it for years. Let's do this. Let's start a national effort to get in touch and tell all of our Republicans that are in television, get some interviews on TV. Let's uh, let's contact all. So let's contact all of the news agencies, even the ones that Trump, God bless him, bless his heart. Yeah, they say you put whatever. I wish he would just stop saying nasty things. That's his biggest fault, I believe, is people just do not like his parents. And I want to get to meet Donald Trump, and I want to wag the dog. If you don't know what that means, look it up on Google or whatever the browser you use. It was a movie. I don't know, maybe but look it up. I want to meet him, and I want to wag the dog with him and me in my consulting position. So he is the former president of the United States, the staff of any country, of our country. He can talk about anything and make a point in just a little bit. I love it. But I don't love it when he makes up names for people. Let's just call them by the names of the adults about it. Because that some of the people that, they think, oh, well, he did better. But I really hate his mean tweets. And I hate the nickname. President Trump, please, can only help you. And then I'm serious. I would like to come meet you and do some. I've got another LLC that I've had for many years, and it's called Crossfire Consulting. And I have not used it for many, many, many years. But I'm going to go out and LLC it and start using it again. So then I'll have Pilgrim Spurs, I'll have Crossfire Consulting. Crossfire Consulting will have engagement with uh, the Trump administration on everything that has to do with the Second Amendment, with our troops, with our defense spending, with seeing if we can recapture all of the billions of dollars of stuff that Crazy Joe left over in Afghanistan. Uh, let's get it back. It's ours. It's just, we left. By the way, thanks for the wonderful job on the pull out there. But listen, we left, and they left all of our people that partnered with us to help help us with the language stuff and talking with the, the locals, like the Afghan people. They did that for us, and they gave the Afghan people intelligence that they knew that the Taliban or ISIS was planning some military strikes. And so the locals knew, they know their country and they've got so many caves over there and stuff. It's really beautiful country. I want to go visit. I've got my passport renewed, by the way, just so anybody. Um, and I also need to visit Europe and look for news as a consultancy. I worked that out with the working with the Biden administration. But think about that so you have more information if you share this post and kind of round about what I'm about, who I am, where I came from. I'm a Christian. When my grandfather took us all in after my mother got divorced, he had a beachfront home. And he took us all into his home and he put my mother back in college. I'm not sure what his degree level was, but when she got out, we moved to Dallas. And she was the human resources director at Children's Hospital from 1964 until 1976, I think it was. Very successful at her job. Unfortunate thing about that was it came with just a lot. They had to fire people. Well, then people got mad about being fired because they were not doing their job, and they would create a lawsuit. Of course, you get rich on this. And so she was in court all the time, fighting the lawsuits and winning them with her, the legal staff of Children's Hospital. Now she had a friend that was he was the chief of staff, I think, was his position, and he was in Gulfport at the Gulfport Hospital. It was over by the Gulfport airport, if that makes sense. And he liked her so much and her accomplishments so much that in 1974, yeah, 1974, he contacted her. I was 14 years old at the time. And he offered her a position as the director of human resources of the Gulfport Community Hospital in Gulfport, Mississippi. And she took the job. Thank God it's the best thing for the job to get away. She just needed to get away from Dallas at that time. She had cleaned everything up, stopped all the lawsuits, saved Children's Hospital so much money. I mean, just all kinds of lawsuits. That the defense, prosecution, or the prosecution lost and the defense won, I would say 8 out of 10. That's pretty successful, right? From 60. I was born in 1961. We moved to Mississippi when my parents got divorced in 62 and lived with our grandparents, Meeks and Pops. And they put us in school there as soon as we got down there at I think it's St. Paul's Episcopal, there with the nuns and the wonderful tabernacles and the campus is just amazing for an Episcopalian. And I did so good at school there. I was making A's and everything. I found my report card in a box the other day. They were all A's and B pluses, except, on the, I'll find it and put it up here somewhere on my profile, just so everybody can know. But the one remark back was, Hal needs to know when to be true until this very day. God bless St. Paul's. Thank you for being in my life. My first kiss, I was in kindergarten, and a girl named Dee Dee that was so beautiful. She was my age, and they were in the Christmas show, and she played Mary. And she, bless her heart, she wasn't, but like 4 years old, I think is how old we were then. And she got nervous, and she peed on herself. And then everybody made fun of her. I was so mad that the whole school, I thought that was the cruelest thing to do to her. She was just, she was trying to help. She was trying to be active. Her parents wanted her to be active, and she was. She gave it a good go, right? And unfortunately, she had a little stage fright there and a little accident. Except I peed on myself yesterday, and I'm not kidding. I'm like crying to my prospect. Come on. So, Dee Dee, I love you, baby. If we ever get back together, I can't remember the last name. People at school, the other kids, they call her Dee Dee Dum Dum. Which also, I'm surprised I'm not a prize fighter because I wanted to kick every kid butt and know that was making fun of her. No kidding, but I didn't have the courage to do it. But I did give Dee Dee a sign and helped calm her down. And I was 4 years old, and we walked out into what do you call it, the quad, I guess, is a good description. And together, her and Dee Dee, love of my life, my very first love, honest, true story. And of course, I can't lie. So Dee Dee, hey, come here for a second. She was sitting on the bench next to me, and that's where she actually urinated, right? And some of it got on me, and then everybody just came apart, started just ripping on her before dear home. Now, when she was just trying her best, and she got a little bit embarrassed, and she had a little accident. Tell me you've never peed or pooped your pants. How many people can say that? I cannot say that. I have peed and pooped myself and had massive exploding diarrhea so many times in my life. I've pissed my pants so many times in my life. We all go right, things happen. So I walked out with Baby after she urinated on the bench next to me to get her away from all the kids that were picking on her and making fun of her. And we walked out into the quad, and in the quad there was some bushes up against the brick building. And so Dee Dee and I went into the bushes and held her hand and held her into the bushes with me. And I got my first kiss of Dee Dee. And that a great story? She was so beautiful. She did such a great job on stage. All she did was pee a little bit. What's wrong with you people? You're in Episcopalian school. You should be supporting each other and loving each other and praising Jesus. Growing up right and going to college and doing all those things and voting Republican and becoming part through college of business people, professionals of any and all kinds, people within the Republican, the Republican Party, be a good person to come to the Republican and get a good education, pay for it, get a job. Nobody ever got free nothing. So stop being a bunch of entitled little pussies. And sorry, I shouldn't say it. Pay your way, go to work early, start a savings account. Like I had one when I was 8 years old. I think was when my first account started. My mother opened me a bank account and she got me a Social Security card. That's one of the best things to do for your children as early as you possibly can. That way they have their birth certificate, they have their security card, or Social Security card, and just start saving documents of their achievements for your later memories and share them on Facebook and have fun with them. That's what it's there for. And, just give them some guidance on how to balance their checkbook. Teach them, take them aside every once in a while when you're able, everybody's happy and you've got a little quiet time to talk to them. And teach them how important it is to save money so that they can live a nice life in their older years when they retire and they'll have become successful enough that they can travel the world. They can see the whole world. I've done it. I've been to India. I've been to London, Paris, Munich. I've been to Prague, Czechoslovakia. If anybody is a travel agent or wants to know where to go for their next vacation, go to Prague. I guarantee it will be the best vacation that you have ever had in your lifetime. Check it out. Some of you go. Come back and post comments on whether I'm lying to you. I'm not lying. We spent 2 weeks in Prague and got to see everything. The orchestra, got to see the Charles Bridge. We got to see the castle. We got to see the changing guards. We got to eat at underground restaurants that were in basements that were made of bricks, and the room was, curved like this. So the walls were bricks. It was the original construction. The floors were hardwood, original construction with lacquered. They were lacquered or whatever stuff was said that, so that they had, they were once they were light, so they put them in and then they sanded them down real good. Okay, and they got all that dust out of it, mopped, swept, mopped until there wasn't a dust particle in the air. Okay, makes sense. And then what they did was stain the wood, made some sort of a natural tree color stain, a ritual color, and then they topped it with acrylic or whatever that is, the shiny paint, so they could polish it when they got stepped up. First of all, it kept them from getting stepped up. Second of all, uh, if they did get stepped up, they could just bring a mop in there with a little bit of detergent and take the steps right after it. And it would be a spotless place that you would feel going in during COVID and having a dinner with your family, friends, travel companions. Go enjoy it. Go to those places. Go to Charles Bridge. They've got a statue there. I think it's the one for the Charles Bridge. I'm not sure. But there's one there and they say that if you kiss it, you'll go back to Prague in your lifetime. This is honest folklore. Every tourist that goes over there that's got tour guide kisses that statue, and so many of them have been there many, many times as a result. That kind of weird. The other thing really cool about Prague, Czechoslovakia, I guess it's Czech Republic now. I got to relearn my history. Uh, so where they are right now with the Czech Republic, if you go visit there, all of the statues and artwork are original. When they got from World War One original, from pre-World War One original. So when they got somebody coming into town saying, "Hey, the Germans are coming," they would take down all of their monuments, all of their national treasures. They would take everything off the bridges. They would empty all of their cultural places that had artwork or just whatever, right, that had been their entire history of the country, and they would hide it in a lot of these underground places. Right? They shut down the restaurant, take a bunch of artwork and statues and shit on there and just keep the place. The next thing they did, which was a most brilliant strategy, I think, from the World War II period, or no, sorry, World War One, was they so they took all of their statues, all of their artwork, everything that was historical, and they hid it. So somebody said, "Hey, the Germans are coming." Quick, everybody in the town starts taking all this stuff down and hiding it in their houses that had it supposed to, okay? And put up fakes. I don't teach you damn Nazis. So, uh, so then what they would do is as soon as they got word that the Germans were coming and that they, might bring war to Czechoslovakia, they surrendered. I can't remember who was leading them then in World War One, but they did this through both wars. They hid everything, and then when they got in touch with some of the Germans or the Nazi Party, they just said, "We give up." So they've got all their shit stashed in every hidey hole around, covered up, boxed up, crated up so that it's preserved, and that's down there in those clean rooms. Okay, follow me? Uh, so every statue off the Charles Bridge, the originals were put in hiding. So all the art, including all the Charles Bridge statues, were put away and hiding somewhere. It was very, very secure that the Germans wouldn't find it. And then, as soon as the Germans started rolling up, they just said, "Hey, we surrendered." They didn't tell the Germans about all their artwork and statues. They just surrendered. Germans came in, they couldn't find anything. They could not find the damn thing. Well, all the statues had um, what duplicates made. So all of their art had duplicates made in the statues. And they put all the duplicates back up where the originals were. So it looked like it was all the original stuff, right? When any German would come in there minding his, everybody else's business with his own. Should be at home with his Fraulein. He wasn't. He was out there killing Jewish people, sons of bitches. Not to tell you that. So anyway, I'm trying to finish this up real quick. They hit everything, put out duplicates, surrendered. Their army never engaged, right? They just surrendered. They surrendered the city. So when the Germans came rolling up, I love Prague. It's my favorite place that I have ever been. They were genius. So when the Germans would come rolling in with their tanks and the troops, they would see all of the artwork and all of the statue duplicates. And Prague, Czechoslovakia, had surrendered officially, right? So the Germans couldn't take any action against them. It would have been very serious war crimes if they had. So they rolled in town anyway to see what the hell was going on, what they could get away with, because German bastards and Nazi killers, rapers, and Holocaust causing the world worst thing that ever happened in the history of this world. They come rolling into Prague, Czechoslovakia. There's duplicates of everything everywhere. There's a lot of stuff that's got gold. There's on buildings and different statues and things like that. They've got gold. It's like copper and gold, something like that. Metals that they use there. So they replaced all that. They made it look just like it looked, right, on any day of the week type thing. Made the entire city look just like that and hid everything in their little hidey holes as well. Now, thank George Bush for that. It sounded stupid when he said it, but these Czechs, they had themselves some hidey holes, from my understanding, that were just awesome. And everybody, they were all Czechs, right? So everybody participated in hiding all of their treasures from their entire history. They surrendered. It's my understanding this story was told to me, so I hope I'm doing that yet. Someone, yeah. They surrendered to the Germans in World War One, and they surrendered to the Nazis and Hitler in World War Two. Threw their hands up, said, "We gave up. You know, we surrender. Please don't destroy our city." Okay, and so the Germans in World War One sorry, I got flying. They had to figure out. Had to figure out. Let me talk about. So the Germans in World War One came in to Prague, Czechoslovakia, and surveyed the situation. Everything appeared to be all original. It wasn't. So they started their looting, even though the Czechs had surrendered. You know, Nazis and the World War Germans, they were just the worst criminals in the world. The worst time for the entire war. All of the wars we've had, and I'm going to do a saga on our war because I've got information. I try to study that stuff. But so World War One, they roll in their tanks and their on the ground troops, and they're riding Harley side bag motorcycles, and they come into the city even though the city has already surrendered. Everything looks exactly the same. The Germans go, "This, why is the city so clean? It's suspicious." But they didn't care because they were trying to murder and loot and pillage all the things that the Germans did in World War One. They wanted to do in Prague, Czechoslovakia, even though Prague had surrendered. Okay? So I'm sorry to my German friends, but let's be a little bit realistic about what that was all about. World War One, it was a tragedy. All of the world wars were tragedies. Vietnam, I'm sorry, Korea. So World War One, World War Two, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and every single fight that we've had overseas protecting our allies, the military bungled it, except for a couple of key leaders like McCarthy and what's his name? Hindsight, one of the most famous generals. Even that little bighorn, when Custer got killed while he was murdering the indigenous Indian population at Little Bighorn in that battle where he lost his life. The most decorated military master. Right? So that was a disaster. Wars doesn't do anything, people. Okay, so let me see if I can get to an end here. So war, bad, yeah, okay. Uh, Peace, happiness, the love of Christ in your home, in your heart, in your family, in your children, good education for children, none of this teaching them anything about gender dysphoria or gender. I don't want to talk about it. Stop it. If we're going to start bringing lawsuits against school boards that still let these fucking people come in, sorry, that let these people come in and start teaching our children all this, how to grow up with mental illness. You know, a good thing to know about what's going on in LGBTQ, they want to be heard, just like everybody. I want to be heard. I want to think that some people think my community is, you know, maybe okay, whatever. They can at least follow along with it. So, war bad, murder bad, Holocaust bad, World War One bad, World War Two and the Holocaust and the Nazis and Adolf Hitler bad, criminals, killers, mass murderers, They just wanted to take control, and they wanted everything. They were so greedy. They thought they were so cool as a people at that time. Right now, they're the Germans are the nicest people I have talked to. But then with World War II and the bringing on what is it, Nazi Germany, basically under Adolf Hitler's rule. Worst thing that ever happened to Holocaust, concentration camps, murdering people and just kicking their bodies into mass graves, putting them, stripping them down and taking them into the gas chambers to perform genocide on all of the Jews that they could get their hands on. It's just murdering them. Left and right. They're either shooting them and putting them in mass graves after they steal all, and then they steal all their belongings, right? After they kick them in the grave, they strip them down and just throw them in the net to figure out, and then they take any like gold or anything that they had in their possession. They still have anything left. They did because when they were picked up, they got picked in before they got sent. So now we've got naked, just millions of naked Jews murdered and kicked into mass graves and covered over. And then the other side of it, people will remember gas masks, right? Even today with COVID, we have. So back when I think the gas mask, I'll research it and find out, but the gas mask kind of started from World War I because part of the Germans' military action was to use chlorine gas to gas the soldiers in the field, all of the infantry, okay, as well as their tanks. They were shelling them with their tanks. They were killing them with hand to hand with their get what kind of rifle they had, but it had the knife on the tip of it. But they were just murdering them anyway. If they could murder them, stripping them naked, putting all the valuables. I know I just saw a picture of all of the rings from the Holocaust that they stole before they murdered these people. And they put them in a great big bucket. It's still around today. Somebody, I'll see if I can find a picture of it. It's very interesting part about history. They So when they weren't shooting or stabbing or slicing their necks and picking them into holes and covering them up naked and totally desecrating their burial rights that they should, everybody deserves, whether it's war or not. If you lose your life in battle, you're entitled to be buried according to your belief system with dignity. Most of that is done here at home for the Americans in the United States up at Arlington. That's where they bring our KIA, Pilgrim Action. They ship the bodies back home if they haven't been blown to death. And they're buried at Arlington. They're full on good stuff there. And their families they're awarded medals posthumously for Purple Heart, Valor. It could go on and on, but most of you people know what I'm talking about. So they, I think the time of the funeral, uh, they give the family of the deceased soldier a flag, okay, rolled up in some triangle, so you've seen it. So right there's some dignity for the family, for the surviving family and all the loved ones left behind in that soldier's death. Also, they drape the casket with it. That's the one that's folded up and given to the family. I believe the way the procession goes is that When they start, everybody comes in. You know, they've already got the burial site prepared and ready to lay out soldiers to rest. And they're having I don't know how many Americans we've lost in all of our wars, but I'll find out. I'll check that when I find out. So Arlington National Cemetery holds all of our deceased soldiers from World War One until the current day, including anybody that was that lost their life in battle. They were all given honorable discharges, and their families were awarded all the medals of honor like they took part. And uh, heroism, God, that will be the Bible. I need to learn my medals. Really study that. So anyway, while the I believe this is how it goes on. Some of my fantastic, sorry about that. Some of my fantastic military friends out there that happen to see this video, please post in the comments what is the uh, what is the entire experience from when the chaplain and I forget who the other person is there, maybe the patient's commander, show up to the house to get notification. So, and then through the plane, all the bodies that were intact were shipped back here. Um, they're all, their families have been, getting everything that the government owes them for uh, for their sons and daughters' bravery and standing and losing their lives for our wonderful United States. So from the plane that's hauling all these caskets off, they take the caskets up to Arlington uh, Memorial Cemetery at some point. I'm just going to go here. And so there you got all these caskets, uh, thousands and thousands of our lost soldiers. And just, so you can imagine all these thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands of our sons and daughters that gave the last measure. I think is what it would be explaining. So you've got all these caskets, they get flags for all of them. They're taking the Arlington Memorial. Every funeral casket that is going to be having a funeral that day is draped with American flag. They are taken to gravesite and they're put on the trolley, ready to lower them into the ground. Then they get the 21 gun salute while the family is in attendance and the loved ones. So that's something to see. I'm sure you've seen it. So that is them. That is our country, our military saying thank you. Our families saying thank you. I'll end this later. I've got a call from you. See ya. Hey, Andy. I am doing actually very well. Hey, I'm having a party tonight, and I need some stuff. It's a welcome home for me from the hospital, from the from having my splint put on. And there's going to be a few of my friends around, but I need some help if you can come. Maybe you can help. If not, I'll just get somebody else. Uh, but okay, well, listen, you can just stop by for a second anywhere from now until 10 p.m. Just stop by. Just if you can, sometime in the evening when you finish your obligations with your son, please, you and your husband, try and stop by at that point when you've got some free time on your hands. Just come on over, you know where I live, and just show up. Just show up whenever it's convenient for you. Okay, when you see it finished with your obligation. Hey, listen. Go ahead. Hmm? She has not shown up today, not for one single second. She has no sick for the birthday. So I want to talk to you about. So I say I'm doing good today. I am really doing good because I've decided to go back to work. I'm starting my companies back up, and I'm going to create a bunch of LLCs and start doing some charity work and philanthropy around where we need it. Um, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited. That's also part of what this work from home party is about. So it's about me working home from Parkland, from having my back hurt and my ankle and heel shattered and having this splint put on. So I was there last Monday from 8 a.m. until 1 a.m. Okay. They ended up taking all kinds of images, sonograms, CAT scans with and without the contrast, and they checked my where I had my in my trip leg, abdominal aortic aneurysm. Yeah. So in 2012, I had a 5 centimeter aneurysm on my aorta. I was warned by the doctor when it was at 3 centimeters. He called it on one of the scans and he said, "Hey, uh, you've got this aneurysm down there," and he explained to me what it was. And then it exploded up the dead. He also said at that time it was at 3 centimeters. Okay, that the surgery is so dangerous. There's only about an 85% survival rate. So he wanted to monitor it until it got over 5 centimeters before we revisited what my wishes were. Okay. I told him the whole time I wanted it out of my body. So I went, so in a span of a year, I went from the aneurysm being 3 centimeters to it being 5 centimeters. Okay. We kept scanning me and letting me know when we hit 5 centimeters. And my desire was to get out of myself. And so I went to UT Southwestern and got with Dr. Valentine at UT Southwestern. And he was the lead expert in that kind of surgery. Okay. So I had my doctor transfer all of the imaging that they had taken to Valentine. So he didn't have to do a bunch of the imaging, but he did do some. Like, cut this patient completely open, taking the guts out, putting it on the table. You might want to know everything. So they collaborated. So I was at 5 centimeters, uh, dangerous time, like 95% mortality. Okay, yes. And surgical chance of no issues during surgery, 85%. So there was an 80 change that. There was an 85% chance that during surgery I would bleed out and die. That's just what the numbers were in 2012 for abdominal aortic aneurysm surgery. And survival rate after a successful surgery is usually only a couple of years because people don't normally get that until they're very old, right? And I'm sorry, and Angie, let me continue on that for just a second. So in 2012, I had all of the stats for mortality, uh, that's, that's surgery survival, and expected uh, lifetime after surgery, which is 10 years. The reason that was people just, it's just very, very uncommon to get an aneurysm on the aorta until you're very, very old. They usually end up passing away from something else. So all of the signs said I want it out of my body, but and I was brave enough to say I want this out of me now because I'm not going to get in a bar fight or fall off the motorcycle or do something stupid, have it, burst at 5 centimeters, and I'm bled out and dead at 10 minutes on the floor. Right? No trauma surgery at 10 minutes. They can't get me to trauma. Right? So I was thinking all of the ways to improve my statistics uh, for staying alive and having successful surgery. And I consulted with both of them very well. It's a big thing. If it ruptures, you're just done. You're dead. At that time, it was like 10 minutes to bleed out. It ruptured. Okay? So at 5 centimeters, I'd already told uh, my regular doctor, primary care physician, a great doctor. I could give you some recommendations. Anyway, I need to get back to him. But anyway, he dropped me when the world fell apart. He had me on Xanax for anxiety for 7 years. When I got back from cross-country motorcycle trip, the Peggy came to visit because I was in all kinds of trouble because I got into out in the West. And I hurt Peggy's feelings so very, very bad. I never make that trip. But I get back and, Peggy is just such a wonderful, beautiful, caring, selfless, generous, most wonderful person, Christian, and just human being that I've ever known in my life. She is. So she went to my primary care physician with me because of when I got back. I've been drinking since I was 12 years old. I've been smoking since I was 12 years old. I had about 15 or so prescriptions through Dr. Anderson here in Los Colinas. I've been seeing him for 15 years. I had high blood pressure. I had anxiety. I had stage fright. I had all of these things that were affecting my health in a very bad way, and setting me on my path to a heart attack. And then we throw a AAA onto this thing, right? This is 2012. I've got all of this. And in 2012, uh, I went forward with Dr. Valentine at UT Southwest. He was my surgeon. He consulted with James Anderson, my primary, and so they shared everything. Whatever one of them knew, the other one knew. Okay, so they were wonderful about that. They were so professional. So that made it go real easy when I thought I had a friend refer me to Valentine because he was supposed to be the best of the best. You see that on TV all the time, but it's real hard to do it in real life. Yeah, I said, yes, I can ask my brother Steve. He is the best of the best in this field. So you know how I don't know. That kind of hurts my feelings sometimes. Because if he knows I've got a AAA and I'm getting ready to die, they're going to lose me, the least he can do is consult with me and send me to Johns Hopkins somewhere like that. Best of the best in the world for whatever the issue is. That's what I want. Okay. So having said that, Anderson, Las Colinas, the clinic is over here in Las Colinas, James Walker Anderson. Um, he saw me from 2009 until 2012 as my primary and kept me as healthy as he could with high blood pressure, everything. I've got a white Fridge lock on my heart. All the things that were wrong with me, he either got it fixed or I was on prescriptions for high blood pressure, taking aspirin. So I was surviving. He was very professional. He knew everything that was going on in there. He knew what all of my sugars were. He knew what all of my labs things out there. So I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, um, anxiety, massive depressive disorder with manic episodes. Uh, I couldn't talk in front of people, so uh, and I couldn't sleep. I mean, Microsoft was the greatest thing that ever happened in my life, but it almost killed me. Is what I would say about working at Microsoft. So let's see how this goes. So it's one thing that's real. Let me finish real quick about it. I'm sorry. I'll let you speak. Um, so in 2012, I had my hip bypass. Prior to that, I've had 4 back surgeries, and I've got rods and screws, perfect screws, rods and braces across a uh, three level, uh, three vertebra fusion, starting at L5S1. To get that, I'm wanting you to have more medical history on this, right? So you can kind of, because we're going to maintain a friendship over years, but I want you to know exactly what's going on with me medically and mentally. Okay. So I'll tell you more later, but the bottom line for how I feel today and how I felt yesterday, uh, and the whole weekend, I feel great. I can't remember the name of it. I just got a new prescription for something going all these years to nothing, and nothing has worked for it. I'm just getting more blood pressure and more. I've got 13 prescriptions between Parkland and Metro. How does that happen? Okay. So that's bad. That means I've got a lot of issues that I shouldn't really have as an adult my age. Okay. And so also with the major depressive and manic uh, bipolar depression, that is making all the other things worse. Right? My blood pressure, my cholesterol, my blood sugar, I'm borderline for diabetic. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go back to Andy. And I'll take your referrals on some doctors for specialties. I want to work with a doctor that has a specialty for what I'm trying to approach. Okay? So thank you in advance for that. I know you can do this without going super. So yesterday, well, let's back up to last week. Nicole left Friday afternoon on time. She was happy for the most part of the week, but she kept reporting that her shoulder, where she had shoulder surgery, was bothering her. And whenever she would come downstairs, she'd be rubbing her shoulder. And I would tell her, Nicole, stop using that shoulder. Don't push anything heavy. Don't do anything with that shoulder. You still want to recover. So stop it, knock it off. I just gave her a hard time about that. It's very strange because I want her healthy. Did you say she had? Did you say she had an abortion? Okay, so I thought I had heard that. So let's take that out of the discussion because that's a very personal thing that I should not be confused about. Okay, uh, so you told me that she had gotten a divorce. You told me when you first told me, you said she was divorced. Right. You said when you said that when she came back from Las Vegas after getting married, that her life fell apart. basically, was my understanding. Everything went wrong. She had shoulder surgery, which still was not healed because she's too hard-headed to not use it. And then when she starts hurting, and I talked to her about this, trying to give her a little bit of my wisdom from all my medical stuff, is don't use it. I haven't used my foot since I got back at 1 a.m. last Monday. I've been sitting down and keeping it elevated the whole time. I've re-racked it tight, staying off of it as much as I possibly can. I have not walked on it without help, without the assistance of some sort of crutches, walker, rolling chair, or something that I have, right, with my medical equipment. So I've only just put a little bit of pressure on it a couple of times when I tried to get in the garage or something like that, and had to get out of my chair because the garage is not level. Okay, so let's end this here. Let's end this here. I wanted you to have that much information. I want to say about Nicole. She showed up yesterday. She was pissed off because my house was a wreck because the guys that had cutting down both the trees in my backyard drank a bunch of beers after they got off and visited and played music. And we threw all the empty beer cans into a great big, huge uh, outdoor garbage bag, right? So they all left without, well, they all were safe at designated bodies if they weren't, they didn't get through or whatever. Everybody went home sober. Uh, so they had a great time. They worked really hard on it. Just great. So listen, just to finish up with the whole bit, which is really good. So she showed up, and she was mad because when everybody left, I pulled that bag off the back porch and had all the cigarette butts and beer cans and the wet beer and everything in it. And I threw a bunch of other trash in. And my intention was to go put it on the front lawn and have them pick it up Thursday and get as much of the trash off of my property as possible. So anyway, so uh, uh, how it went from Friday when she left. Friday after she left, I had a series of accidents. I dropped or could not find my grabber stick, my my walking cane, uh, any of my tools except for the chairs. I either misplaced them or just lost them somehow in the debris. And by the way, I also completely cleaned out the fridge and freezer. Took everything out and threw that in bags because everything's been expired in there for 3 years, except the meat and stuff that I had frozen since I bought it. I kept the meat and stuff. Everything else, boom, in the garbage. Well, guess what? That one breaks. That shit's all over the floor. The other can, the trash bag that I'm pulling off the back porch is a separate bag. Okay. As soon as I get in, I lost my footing a little bit. I almost fell down, and the damn thing just emptied itself right in the middle of the living room. So I'm having to get around this stuff. I can't get around anything because there's shit on the floor everywhere. And the trash bag, the kitchen trash bag that I was using, or bags, I should say, um, they were all full, and they had all sat there. I pulled everything out and just threw it in the box out of the freezer in the fridge that I knew was bad. And I threw it in the garbage bag, and when I filled up, I threw it in another one. So I got everything out. So a bunch of the stuff, I was trying to figure out a way to use some of it, like frozen vegetables and stuff, to put a cold compress on my ankle. And I kind of forgot what I was doing because everything I tried just kept failing. It was just a tragedy of failure, one after another. So I've got garbage all over the living room for beer cans, beer itself from the beer cans that they didn't drink all of it, cigarette butts and ashes. That's what she walked into in the living room. In the kitchen, I got so buried in everything I couldn't move around. What I first did was I took everything out that I wanted to keep and defrosted it. Okay, I took everything that was. Okay, I'll finish this later. Please do. Thank you. Thanks so much. Welcome back, happy campers. As I told you, cigarettes, nicotine. I smoked Marlboro Red, the short ones, from when I was 12 years old, if I remember me, until I was 60. Okay, so that was 2 years ago. So from, let's see, I get the years right. So from 1966, whatever I was 12 years old, whatever grade that is, whatever that is, I was 12 years old. And all of the kids were running around the neighborhood because everybody played outside, nobody sat in, and they didn't have any, nobody knew what a video game was except at the arcade. And so we'd go to the arcade. If anybody was playing video games, it would be like Friday night and the weekend. And all of the kids from the local school district would get together and go to the arcade and play pinball and foosball and pool and bowling and all those wonderful things that we could do as a kid that we put me in my grade. You know, here's my health of a snapshot. Uh, since 2012, I've had some extremely dangerous and very serious health issues, which I won't go into, but just so you know, I've been to the emergency room many times. I've been I've had I had an aneurysm on the aorta dissection in 2012. In 2015, I came back from I got laid off. I've been at Microsoft since 1999 as all kinds of project manager kind of stuff. Um, well, after I got out of surgery for that, and came back, I was supposed to recover for like 6 weeks to be really careful. This is a serious thing. I had 90% odds of dying, as told to me by both of my uh, doctors. There was a 10%. Let's say that there was almost 95% that was going to be my last breath. So I got a real good vascular surgeon at University Southwestern in Dallas, Texas, on Henry Hines Drive, UT Southwestern. His name, I think, he was the best of the best. You know how you see on TV, and I want the best for my kid. Okay, no problem. We got the best. Here, we're going to fly you to Johns Hopkins, and we're going to have introduce you to the chief of staff, and we're going to have the entire vascular team and everybody else that's got human medical background in this facility to come meet you, screen you, pick you, poke you, prod you, take labs, do this, that, and the other, so that they know exactly what the picture is of your doctor at that time. So that doesn't happen in real life. I started finding ways to make it happen for me, so I got a referral for Dr. Valentine at UT Southwestern Hospital, Dallas, Texas, on Henry Hines, to be my vascular surgeon for my aortic resection. So he did everything. He collaborated with my primary care physician at the time that I had been seeing for 14 years. I've been seeing Dr. James Anderson at the Anderson Clinic in Los Angeles, Texas. So he's got offices somewhere else now, I'm not sure. So they, my primary got in touch with my referral, Dr. Valentine. So Anderson, Dr. Valentine, and he said, had all my history, my medical history, and knew what was currently on it. All current labs and everything, high blood pressure, cholesterol, A1C, um, thyroid, everything that there is that you have to promote your health was wrong with me. And I was on a lot of medication. And now with the introduction uh, of the aneurysm and the stats of that, I had a less than 5% chance of living. It's 95% mortality. It's the numbers given to me by my primary care physician and my orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Bowers. Let me tell you, he is thumbs up for me. If you want to know the best of the best, and you know somebody that's got any kind of an aneurysm, anything vascular, Dr. Valentine, UT Southwest, Dallas, Texas. Very nice full of work. Look him up, you can find him at AZ. Pass it on to your family and loved ones, especially if you're from the area, if you're in the area. If not, I would highly recommend a plane ticket down here for one visit, set up an appointment with the chief of staff at the hospital and the lead or the lead physician for whatever the condition is, right? So for mine, it was all vascular. I was got to have an aneurysm first because it's very serious time in my life. And I prayed through that. I didn't have religion. I prayed through that. And I drew the courage to it. I said, I want this out of my body. I'm not going to fall off my motorcycle and get in a bar fight and have this thing uh, break the aneurysm. And when it breaks, you bleed out internally. So let's say I was at a bar and some drunk guy got pissed at me for looking at his girl because I do that. Everybody does. You got it, right? So I've been punched a bunch in my 62 years of living, a bunch of times. So now I've got this aortic aneurysm that's 5 centimeters big in my stomach. Somebody gets mad, and I didn't stop fucking. I don't give a shit. Girl, if you're beautiful to me, and I like your rear end or whatever, your facial features or your breasts or whatever it is I like about you, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check it out. You're sexy. Get on with it. So I had just gotten back in 2012 from a cross country road trip that I'll say something about in a second. Uh, but I came back. Okay, so when I had my aneurysm surgery, it went perfectly. I mean, I was in surgery and I was in recovery, and then I was in bed, and I probably went home in 2 days from having a major surgery. That was the most brilliant piece of medical work that I have experienced in my lifetime. Especially, I'm going to say that because it's me. It saved my life. Sure as, sure as God is great. Um, so I'd come back, after 6 weeks was my recommended recovery. By the way, when they do a dissection, resection, rather, of the aorta, what they do is they open you up either from the back or the front, either sideways or up and down, whatever the doctor, whatever they do when they do their thing. They do it the same way every time. That's how they look good. So he said he wanted to go up across my stomach like this. And I was okay. Um, And he told me everything I needed to know so I wouldn't be worried. And all the UT Southwestern nursing staff, just they're all so professional. It's a learning hospital too, so all the future generation of doctors, vasculars, uh, heart doctors, you name it, whatever they're going on to in their life, they're coming from UT Southwestern and working at the hospital during their whatever you call it, you get your foot in the door in the medical business, and they're doing their deal, working ungodly hours, balancing a college schedule for all of them, however many, I think it's 4 years, and or six to get their doctorate, their master's, and their bachelor's, whichever way that works out. I never really figured it out. I dropped out of school in 1978, one year before my graduation, at senior 79, at Boston Adams High School in Dallas, Texas. We lived by White Rock Lake Park and had the greatest childhood in the world. Another first girlfriend, uh, my first girlfriend in Texas, her name was Lisa Manson. And she lived just down the block from me. And we both loved each other. We were best of friends running around together all the time because she was in my class. We were Texan age and we went to Big Age Head School Elementary in Dallas, Texas, on North Fifth Road. I think the very first one day. So you look up to find it if you're interested in it. So Lisa and me, they were like this. They uh, came to report that a tree had caused two sections of the sidewalk to come up the roots, got it up out of the ground. And so they had to come fix that. And when they fixed the tree and they fixed the sidewalk and did a very good job at it. So when they got finished and the cement was just, it was like glass. You could almost skate on it. It was so fine. Me and Lisa, she got on the back of my twin Stingray chopper, which I had a Springer front end and a banana seat and a sissy bar. And she would ride behind me on the banana seat and then that's that sissy bar. Swim. Man, those were the best bikes. Huffy, some people had Huffy. Huffy was the Kmart of bicycles for children in the 60s and 70s. They were the cheapest thing that you could possibly get. Top of the line, swim. Apple Bill, I'm sorry, Apple Clay. I don't think it's in the they had like 3 speeds and they came with all the chopper. It was, custom off the floor. It's already built. And you just got the color you wanted. And they did that. Orange, they're all Apple Clay, whatever they want for the red one. Like a car dealership. They were the best bicycles available in America, I believe, in the world. It's my for a child that was growing up in the 60s and 70s. And finally, wanting to, growing up, graduating high school, GED here. I'm going to have to fix that. That's what dropped out 1 year before my graduation. So in 1978, I dropped out of senior high school at Bryan Adams with 1 year left to go because I was a senior 79. Let's say I was a bit full of myself back then, shall we? So anyway, going back, we moved from Mississippi. We moved in 1962 when my Gretchen and Hal Sr. got divorced. Hal was in the Navy. He was he had done 4 tours in the Pacific in Vietnam, and he'd been there for England. He was a professional. He ended up with a lieutenant commander in Mexican military, just cheated him out of what he had earned. In my opinion, just a little bit from what I know about it, he was my father on Mendocino. I love the military and I love the Navy and I love my father, but I never got to know because of his career in the U.S. Navy. Him and Gretchen, my mother, got divorced in 1962 when I was 1 year old. And we moved from Dallas in 1974 or 1972 to stay with my mother's parents, my grandparents, Mitts and Pops. I remember them living in up a lot in the story time. So we pick up and move Gretchen, and so it's Gretchen, Mike, my oldest, Peggy, the next oldest, Steve, 1 year or like 3/4 of a year older than me, and then I'm the baby. So she had 4 kids, all at varying ages from toddler to preteen. Dang, woman, how the how could he let you go? Even when I'm sorry, Dad, he's passed away. I lost him to pancreatic cancer. I didn't get to go to this funeral. I wasn't allowed to go, even though I'm named after him. That's sadness in my heart. Um, so 1962, we were loaded up. We lived over on just a couple blocks off of Northwest Highway in Dallas, Texas. When they were married. I was born March 9, 1961, at Baylor Hospital, which is the original one is down in the Deep Ellum area of Dallas. So March 9, 1961, Dallas born, lifetime care. I've been away from Texas, but never long enough that I couldn't get right back there. I moved away for 9 years and lived in Seattle. And when I got through school, I got an associate's degree in computer programming and computer science. That's one of my interests. I moved, I couldn't stand it. It's beautiful, one of the most beautiful, oh gosh, anything in the Pacific Northwest, find me a guy. It is the most beautiful area of our country that I've seen besides I mentioned. The problem is because it's so green and luscious and beautiful, it rains all the time. It's only 3 months in the summer that there's not that much rain, and people actually get outside and start doing things that they've been putting off for a year. So people get to work on their lawn and their projects and their honey-do lists and everything from June to September, October in Seattle. That's important. Why? Because in the winter, from October until June, it is either drizzling or raining hard almost every single day. Just so much good. Somebody up there. Fuck it off. For good reason. That's gloomy. People have things, they got depression things going on in their life. The weather is like that. Shit. Kill me. Which is what I wanted someone to do. But anyway, after I got out, graduated school, I went to work at a consulting firm and got myself into the education department. And it was called Eris Corporation Consulting. And it had just merged with another company called Sequel. A bunch of my lifelong friends there. A girl I lived with from Seattle for 6 years. So she's remarried and having a wonderful. Her parents were so wonderful to me. They, for whatever reason, they just loved me. So when we went over there, we were having a blast, me and her, and then we did stupid stuff because of me and my love for outdoors and for being able to travel. And the one story I like to tell is on one of our trips, we did 7 states in 8 days. Uh, it was all over Seattle. It was Puyallup. It was Bremerton. It was so everywhere in Washington State we saw, including all of the lakes and mountain here, all of the mountains. They've got quite a few mountains. So we saw all of them. We saw the tulip fields that grow. They grow. They've got massive fields of tulips that they do for the flower industry and and you know what they need for people that are ordering tulips. So they grow them. They partner with all the flower shops, sell them overseas, sell them wherever. They make a ton of money that they put into the local community there, and it's just north of Seattle. I can't remember which little city it is, but if you look up tulips in Seattle, you'll find it. Anyway, we saw everything. I had a real nice date up there in Marina, up in, I'll have to, it's north of Seattle, Everett, Port Everett. I can't remember which port it was, but it was just north of Seattle, like like 30 miles away. That's what I'm saying. And it was an island property, the boat was. And I bought it used, and I kept the slip when I bought it. So we had a really nice island boat. And guess what? There's nothing but islands up there in the Puget Sound, and all the look at the map and look at the islands. I've been to all of them. Me and her both together. I've been to all of them with camp. We've stayed overnight in hotels, and we've drank in the bars and eaten in the restaurants. At every place that we could while I was in Seattle for 9 years, and she was living with me. um, but that was it's such a wonderful time in my life because we were so adventurous. We were young still, right? We still had the healthy, smoking like this. Every 5 seconds, I'd have a new cigarette in my mouth because it was the Marlboro experience. Now, I get about 4 puffs out of the damn thing, and then it's gone. You put it out. And if you got any kind of anxiety or anything like that that is contributing to your smoking habit, do something about it. Work with the doctor. It's a terrible thing, terrible, sick, dirty habit to have, and I'm ashamed of it. I have been my whole life, but I am addicted. I've resolved myself to do this. But I'm working now since I've been out of commission with the hospital and all this stuff for the last 3 weeks, doing basically uh, in the emergency room for 12 hours, 14 hours on last Monday, and having shattered my right ankle, which is my dominant. I shattered it. I fell in my back end. The first time I fell, I fell fast. The first time I fell, I've had 4 back surgeries in my life, starting in 1984 was the first one. My last one was 1996. I always did heavy work, heavy labor. And I did a couple of stupid moves back then. Therefore, my knees, you've got to lift with your knees. Trust me. If your back hurts you, take a couple of weeks and just do not do anything except some leg stretches and muscle stretches for your lower back. Put ice and heat on it, and then take some Tylenol, and you will feel great real fast if you just do those couple of things. Okay, that's my advice. Having suffered 4 back surgeries, now 1996, uh, then before I left Seattle, I had my 4th back surgery. I've now got metal rods about this long, Okay, on either side of my spine, and then across the across the discs this way. There's screws holding one, so the holds everything like that. And then they fused O4. It's O5S1. So I think the fusion now, it's a 3-level fusion, is O5 down to O3S sciatic. So L is lumbar, S is sciatic nerve. So I kept herniating my disc, which will happen, you probably figured out one. Well, I just kept doing it. So I had my first surgery in '84 in Dallas. I moved to uh, Washington State in 1989, in October of '89, and had my last 3 surgeries there. The last one, they they fused me at 3 levels and put all that hardware in my back, which is fine. It saved my life. It was wonderful. I had the best surgeons. Problem was, I kept still doing the same stupid shit. So on the fourth and last surgery, I was working at a glass plant in Seattle, making about $15 an hour in 1990. That was good money. Well, I lifted something I shouldn't have lifted because it's a huge bottle plant. They make the boxes for them. They make wine bottles, butter jars, jelly jars, you name it, the glass ware. And they come out of these huge furnaces and hot, out of the mold. They come out on a conveyor. So there's people handling the glassware. They're on the conveyor. Makes sense. There's people handling, like changing out the molds to what is it going to be, a jelly jar, or is it going to be a fine California red wine? And that's the same way. Or any of the other ones, because they sold wine bottles with pre-labeled for everybody. So, and jelly jars pre-labeled with their design, if they have a design in the glass. It came out 100% ready to go. Okay? It's massive. So you've got like a 12-foot wide conveyor belt, if you will, that is coming towards you from the furnace. Those bottles are crafted by molds that they use, depending on what type of the bottle and what the shape is that the company that is going to receive the finished product wants. Okay. So, hey, we're making blueberry chili jars. It's not awesome. I like them. They're tiny. Never get behind on that when they come out of the furnace. And then all the way up to the wine jars from who knows how many wineries around the country and the world. And they're coming out. So, wine bottles like this, yeah. So they're a little bit more wobbly. They come out of the first furnace and shit starts falling off, either still molten hot, or it gets down and gets cooled, and something jerks the damn conveyor, and a bunch of bottles fall off on the concrete floor of the conveyor area and shatter, just decimate, destroy. That's not good shift to work. Because you work hard like you never worked in your life. When I first started there, I was on the carton machine. So they made the bottles downstairs and all the furnaces and everything like that. They were trying to make it downstairs. I worked upstairs with a bunch of cardboard folding machines. And what they would do is, I could say, take a so they take a labeled stack like this cardboard of whatever the product is. wine bottle stove. Whatever they're making downstairs, that's what they're blowing boxes together upstairs. Me. That's what I'm doing. But that's where I got hurt in 1996 for my fourth time. And it was a very serious injury, and I ended up having to go to court over it. And in my settlement, I got retrained was what my attorneys uh, went for, and they got it. So I went to a school for handicapped people in the Seattle area, called a resource center for the handicapped, for 2 years, and got my associate's degree in uh, computer code all the way back from basic to what were we at? It was Windows 3.1, whatever the version 3 was. That's where software was at the time at Microsoft. And they're very like first often of any of the office products such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, uh, all of those, everything that Microsoft was in its infancy. And I started working there in 1999, right? So I started out, it was first round of everything. I worked from 1999 until I had my aneurysm removed in 2012. Okay. Rose through the ranks. I was very personal. I was so blessed. I was so happy to be there. I could do anything I want. I didn't own a house, but I owned everything else I wanted. We had vehicles and all beavers. We didn't want to spend money like that. It's foolish. It's not a good way to manage money when you're young. So we had two. I bought Cheryl's old car. It was a Ford, some kind of piece of crap from the 70s, and it had all kinds of problems with it. I bought it. Well, I think she actually just did. And then she had a Toyota, a used, little tiny Toyota pickup truck. They didn't even have all the different things from back then. Whatever the first Toyota was, that's what she had for her daily driving. So we did what we needed to get that running real well, and we put some nice wheels on it. And so we had a piece of junk old Ford, which is just because it's Ford. Fixed everything that was wrong with that, and it's just an old, nice big Ford. There's no problem. Then for the Toyota, first version Toyota truck that she had, she bought it extremely cheap. But we just back then everything was done in the newspaper. So it's done in the paper, and we went and did test it. Brought it home, fixed everything that was wrong with it, put some larger tires on it because it wasn't a 4x4, and it wasn't all-wheel drive or any of those things. And we're traveling in the mountains and snow on us, so we got some big rugged tires for off-road, and then we had snow chains. Snow chains is the best option if you get caught anywhere, especially in a mountain pass, in the snow. So first, have good knobby tires or have brand new tires. Keep good tires on your vehicle so you like. Second, get depending on what you drive. So if you drive a car, work with the tire dealership to get the tires that have, excuse me, the longest warranty on them and the lowest rating that the tire has for noise level. So if you go on a long road trip, uh, basically what's going to happen when you get in the car is you're going to come in, get in, you have to hook shit where it's hot. So let's max out the AC. Okay, turn that on and get it cool. Get in there, get out of that sun. D3 is good for you, or vitamin D is good for you, but not. So anyway, so it's burning up outside. You get in the car, you're going to go take a road trip. Always check everything on the vehicle before you go. And anything that needs attention, tires, especially put down in the so for a regular sedan, it would be regular street tires. They have the lowest noise rate. So the brand new, they're whisper quiet, right? And you're not going to have any problems with those tires. You're not going to have a flat. Make sure your spare's ready, okay? In case you do, what because it's not going to have you some points. I'm usually pretty prepared for anything. But there have been times when I've got just said, "Oh, let's go on the road. Let's go to visit my uh, best friend from my childhood, Timmy Lampton, who lived on North Cliff in the White Rock Lake area." And I knew him and his sister, Lisa Lampton, remember her? Since 1968. Timmy, the Lampton family, so my oldest brother, then Kenny, 1 year older than me, my best friend in childhood and still to this day, and then Lisa, who is my age, and my first love, my first adult, so preteen, my first preteen kiss, my first, let's just say that I was really in love with. But I was off. I was just sitting into everything, rebuilding cars, motorcycles, and stealing kids' bicycles who lived out on the street, teaching them to take it home, sand it down, spray paint, gloss black, put a sissy bar, a banana suit, some handlebars on the spring front end, three-speed transmission, with 3 gears. Told them to buy. There's a serial number on there. I've never seen a serial number. Like some officer. I bought it from this kid for $15. Back then, that was plausible enough that not only did I get a really good deal on it, but that everything else I was saying at the time was actually cheap. So I didn't look suspicious like I was lying about anything. Just had one custom, freaking out of this world bicycle. Okay, brand new gloss black. The serials have been shaved. Okay, so they've been grinded down. No serial numbers. Brand new paint job, gloss black. Sometimes like maybe a cherry red with metal flake. I like colors. What can I say? Matching seats go with whatever. So you know how you put uh, the drapes match the carpet and maybe some of the colors in the upholstery in your house. Same thing with designing a car or the outward and inward appearance. Inward appearance. Yeah. But on the Swing Stingrays, right around 1969, the year of which I was living in Dallas. What do you realize in this world and what was happening in this world at that time? Let me tell you, growing up back then, they didn't have any iPads. They didn't have anything. The only thing you could get back then was you could go to the Radio Shack and get yourself a calculator that you could use for your study. You had all, but you owned a home telephone tied to the wall. You owned a boom box or record player or some kind of home entertainment system. You owned in Dallas, in my neighborhood, you owned a Curtis Mathis television that was built into a console that had a turntable, color TV down new for the time, speakers, stereo, everything built into this long ass cabinet that weighed about 500 pounds. Curtis Mathis knew what they were doing. They built quality at the time. What they had was what there was. They were the best appointment, but they weighed about 400 pounds. They were absolutely stunning, beautiful woodwork, craftsmanship. I actually worked when I was 14. I was run away from home, and my mother didn't know where I was. I was working at the TV repair shop over at the shopping center where the barber shop was that I'd worked when I was a lot younger. And the local drugstore was a Rexall, and it had a soda fountain. The girl that worked behind there, she had a crack on she's like not to tell. So I was there all the time. She'd give me French fries. I'd pour a big puddle of ketchup on the plate, and I'd put salt and pepper like crazy. Just it's black and salt, real salt. And then take a spoon or a fork and stir it up until it's just not, it's salt and pepper ketchup. So it is down to it's like taking something all the way down to the base. That's what it was. That piece of shit. Um, uh, so I would do that with my plate while she's cooking a double cheeseburger and the biggest thing of fries you ever saw in your life. And they were the ribbed fries. Because they were short and they were, I forget what you call them, but they were the ribbed ones. And she would fry those up just to golden brown, no more, no less. And then take them out of the fryer and put them on my plate that had my little thing of the ketchup that I made that I wanted to dip in. So my ketchup, her fries, all on one plate. Let's throw in a double cheeseburger. Sure, I'm starving. I've been working all day mowing lawns. Why not? Let's do it. So that was how I spent all of my time in that shopping. Was either at the Rexall, at the soda fountain in the Rexall, the local drugstore. We could buy we could buy we could find ash, charcoal, but we bought sulfur, and I don't want to say what the other thing was because it's how you drink that. It's not safe for some kids will see this. They can't really get the ingredients these days without a serious risk of getting. Uh, so that helps a lot. But basically, what I'm saying is, I was making my own thing. Back then, I bought everything I needed like this with the website. Whenever I had to take any pills or anything, my mom got my pills from the website. Whenever I was hungry, I was at the soda fountain in Lexington. And my favorite meal, the girl loved me, and she just gave me everything for free. She had a big crush on me. And I was in there all the time, so we were best friends too. That's just, very nice to have a childhood. Very, I think we have her name at this time, but she was just the sweetest young lady. She was about 3 or 4 years younger than I was. So no cool on the, don't mess with the girl at the soda fountain. She's too young, she's like 4 years younger than me. So I appreciated that she had a crush on me, but I knew better than, and she was beautiful, young lady. But I knew 4 years, and when you're in your teen years and you're going through puberty and stuff like that, there's stuff you just don't do. You don't do a 4 year gap as an adolescent, not in a proper, uh, not in the proper age that still has some kind of moral stuff. You just don't do it anytime. You didn't do it back then, you don't do it now. Don't do it, it's bad. Stupid. It makes you look stupid. So I was either shining shoes and sweeping floors, making a killing at the barbershop, working for Bernie, or I was working. So that was when I was 8. I worked at the barbershop, making good money. Started having enough money to buy, whatever. My mother did. She was very generous with what little she made in those days and times. She was way underpaid. God bless her. She made us a wonderful house of home. And she got me in the Episcopal Church when we moved back to Dallas. I think it was probably Freeman or something like so. I'll have to look it up, see if he's still with us. Trying to get back now that I'm getting to the end of life. I'm trying to get back to I want to go to young again, and I want to go back to those days because you had Woodstock, you had tie-dye jeans and bell bottoms, you had Huarache sandals that you bought off of I forget what road in Austin where they had the markets down there. They had the most comfortable leather sandals were very cheap, and whenever we went down there, we'd go shopping along the market right there, and we'd always, if we needed them, we'd get a new set of sandals. They're called Huaraches. I still have a pair to this day. Highly recommended. And there, I'm sorry I can't remember the name of the street, but if you find out where they do the markets still today, you will find online somebody that sells Huaraches and say, what in the hell, I'm going to throw $20 at it and see if how knows what the hell he's talking about, or is he pulling the leg? Because if he's pulling the leg, I'm trying to stop, and he's going to ask me why. And I'm going to say, because I don't want you to pull on the other one. So, barbershop, got my hair cut, sweat floor shine shoes to pay for my haircut. They offered to school to me, I was that kid. They was well liked. I was just a work job. I was 8 years old. What are you going to do? I was not unintelligent. Everything was very, very uh, just unreal. Anything that was going on, if there was sports, if there was anything that had to do with bicycles, or later in the years, the stealing of the sanding down of Syria, stealing of said bicycle. They'd left it laying with two wheels in the street and the handlebars on the sidewalk. I'd been out there for hours after 5 passes. Now, so if I was going to steal a bike, and I stole some of my neighbor's bikes, and if I ever stole yours, I apologize, but she left it outside. So I'd be on my badass chopper there. I'd stolen the week before and custom painted with 6 bars, banana seat, 3 gears, metal plate paint job. But I really like black, so I painted that. And I'd just go by and go by and look and see nobody's there. They just left it in the street, not even in their yard. They left it hanging halfway into the street where a car run. So I just go up, I'm riding my bike. I just go over next to it, look around, see if anybody was out in the street or in their yards or looking through windows or whatever. There weren't any video cameras back then. So if you checked all those things and you were a good young gangster, those chance you would never get caught for anything. They'd have to, the only way they could catch you is if somebody looked out the window and they actually took a snapshot of you on a Polaroid. I didn't know my name, so they couldn't tell the police my name even if they had witnessed it. The police would kill us. You would see, you can imagine why if you hear something. It was crazy times back then. I just wish that today's youth would get rid of their damn electronics, just play them on the weekend, or a few hours at night after you finish the homework, stuff like that. Get outside. America is so fat. Everybody is out of shape. All of our athletes that are not transgender, are obese. Obese to the fact of severe obesity, in my opinion. By the way, trans a guy that whacks off his pepper and gets breast implants and gets on uh, hormone therapy to transition from a young man to a young girl. First of all, he needs to have, he's got depression or something. It's, he's got something going on in his life that's not right. He's not comfortable. Somebody's picking on him. He's in hit puberty and he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Like we didn't when we hit puberty. So like all of a sudden we like girls and more, and girls like us more and more, and we thus uh, proliferate people's right. So the Christians just and the Baptists and the Protestants and the anything in the Bible Belt, no matter what it is, if it's, I just say everybody be Christian. I don't like all this separation with different places. Blah blah blah. I don't like it. We're all Christians at heart. We love Jesus. It's number one. In our hearts, our minds, He's taken care of us our entire life, even though we don't know it. He's taken, He's saved my life so many times. I'll tell you something. Anyway, get your kids in church on Sundays. Get them in Bible study. Okay, it's good for them. It'll bring them into Christianity, and it'll make it that much easier for the Lord to wrap His arms around them and the religions and some of the believers that's outside of all the politics. Well, religions, right? And sports. Let's get back to loving all the sports that keep the damn trans out of sports, keep them out of the bleachers, keep them out of the stadiums, keep the keep them off the girls' sports teams. Shut that shit down. It's immoral. It's grotesque. And it is everything that good Christians do not like about what's going on in the United States today. Okay? So, love your family, get them educated in everything. Teach them how to do bookkeeping and balance a checkbook. Get them a checkbook, a social security card when they're 4 years old. Okay? Open a bank account. Get them a checkbook. And a social security. Then they, and a birth certificate. Then they've got things that will help them do whatever they want to do for the entire rest of their life, right? So spend some quiet time teaching, and I recommend homeschooling for a lot of the stuff that kids do not get taught in school. And so managing a bank account, managing credit, managing expenses, and uh, managing a budget, managing a budget, knowing how to cook all of their own favorite meals. I would like to also learn that. Make sure they get into an Ivy League college or the best college they can, even if it's just a community college, if they go somewhere after they graduate high school. Keep on them about studying and getting off. Don't give them any screen time. So you can have 2 hours of screen time before bedtime, after homework, and after a little portion of time between us. Okay? So they've got their limits now. They don't get any screens, TV, computers, cell phones, nada, nothing. Gaming systems, nothing. 2 hours a night, which will turn into more, by the way, on the credit score that they'll start building when they're kids. So they come home from school, they have a snack, they hope maybe mommy or daddy or whoever watches them if they're very young will have waiting for them when they walk through the door after school and when they get off the bus or when they're brought back home by raining. Have a snack waiting. It's getting some milk and cookies, some good stuff. A lot of sugar. They're young, because they need it at age. We want to build baseball players and Marines and Navy SEALs and Air Force pilots and uh, Navy submarine guys and um, just think of anything in any of the branches, what they might get out of that if it's radar, if it's learning how to uh, use an unmanned aerial vehicle to drop a bomb on most wanted ISIS asshole or Taliban asshole in the entire Middle East. They run those from Las Vegas. It's where they've got it's like they're flying the drum themselves. So they've got their console, they're gamers. You know, they're young kids, they're gamers. They love gaming. Now you got them on the control station that's just like a real airplane. Only the video, even the video, it's like being on a real airplane. The only difference is on the other end of the game is an unmanned drone. Okay, makes sense. Uh, so they're a virtual pilot driving a virtual machine that has nobody on board. Nobody's going to die today. We're just going to say hello to it. So they can do that maybe. If they want to be on a submarine or a carrier, aircraft carrier. My best friend Kenny he's ex-Navy. He served on aircraft. It's real interesting. I wish I'd been in the Navy, but back then I was too caught up in myself. We weren't at war. I wasn't a job age anywhere before I turned 18. The selective service uh, thing where you turn 18, you get, I think currently, you get, you're eligible to draft when you're 18 into any of the military branch by the U.S. Armed Forces. Okay? So if we go to real war with somebody, those kids that are going in there need all these things I'm telling you about. And then through watching just the History Channel, sometime on the weekend or whatever, if you see stuff about World War One, World War Two, Korean War, Vietnam, and then everything in the Middle East after that. So all of them. But get some videos together of all of those wars that show, like the one with Saving Private Ryan. That makes me cry every time I see it. It's so horrible, but it's so accurate. It's the best wartime movie I think I've ever seen out of anybody in my entire life. Not seen a lot of. What's the next? What's this guy going to show up? Tell me something I really want to know. So get them in ROTC. If they think, when you're talking to them when they're younger, and they decide what they want to do when they grow up, start grooming their training at a very early age so that when they turn 18, if that's still what they want to do or do, then they're walking into it with as many bullets in their pistol as they can have. And they can go, join, if they think they're going to have a military career, get them in the Naval Academy on graduation, get West Point for the Navy people. And so say, Dad, this hi. Yes, right. Uh, well, hi, son. How's it going? Okay. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're having a good day. You are having fun. Yeah, Dad, I'm having fun. Well, that's great. Little Billy. Little Johnny. Johnny said I'm always got trouble, right? People pick that thing. Little Johnny, what have you been doing? If the kid's named John, ask him, little John, call him Little John. There's going to be because you're going to keep him healthy and fit. And little Johnny's the little kid, that's always getting in trouble at school. Don't let him be that little Johnny. Let him be a little bit of a kid. Have fun in everything he does. Okay? Teach him how to ride a skateboard very young. Starting, here's my order, I would say, based on how I grew up, is 2 to 4 years old, tricycle, big wheel. 4 to 12, bigger, big wheel. Yeah, makes sense. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. Then, let's see, from 10 to 18, get them a dirt bike, okay, because they're good kids. You bring them a bike, they just wonderful running some rights. Give them what they want after they've been good. Don't just give them to them for no damn reason. But after they've done all their chores and they've been really good in school and having their grades up in the high A's or A pluses, and all that, how are you going to repay that to that child? I'll tell you. And it's something that parents just today can't seem to do. You are going to have a time in your life, and you need it to be when they are the very youngest, that you do something to them that will make them very happy. And so I would say clean your room. It's one of those things. I would say pick up your toys, clean your room. Okay? That's number one. Number two, get the toys off the floor of the living room and put them in your toy box in your bedroom. I'm not going to tell you again. Number three, don't do that to the dog. Kids. Dogs. Dogs don't like being poked in the butthole by anything, anybody, unless, well, dogs aren't gay. They follow the law of, uh, of nature. They don't have any kind of gayness in all the animals on this God's beautiful, beautiful earth that we have. Um, Not any of them have inter. Uh, it's just boy, girl, boy monkey, girl monkey, and so is the fishes and the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and everything. There's none of this messed up stuff that's going on. Like, none of it. Let's get back to that. So we're going to have to get them in the little league. So get them in first. One thing to make them mad, not make them not like you. It will be the best thing that you ever did for them in their entire life. I'm going to tell you how to set your kids up. When they're very young, get them in Bible study. Get them uh, to do their chores. Give them, they're going to make a lot of money off mom and dad for chores because mom and dad are buying them thin plus iPhones that are out there and just letting them spend their entire time on screens. This is not good for anybody. I'm doing it right now, and I've got to get off because I know it's not good for me. Get away from screen time as much as possible. Fill every weekend with adventure. 2 hours a day on the weekdays for any kind of screen whatsoever. I don't care if you want to text your but you're going to get most of it cut out of their life, so they're going to get bored because I can't do anything. Yeah, I want you to ride your bike or take Bigley or dog for a walk. Go to the park, send me text, or I will. I'll contact all your best friends. I'm going to get them on the phone. Right? Get them off the screen and out of the house and get them bicycles and big wheels. And I've got some neat pictures that I'll post for you from my channel. I'm sorry, post of my childhood, and my experiences in life. Getting up in age, so I've got to think about what I'm leaving behind as a legacy in this world, and what I'm trying to make better with humanity. And forgives all of our sins and pride. So I'm already filled with God. I hope He makes it because I'm saying it. Yeah, I don't even know how. Like, so I'm coming out and saying I'm born again. I am baptized, getting baptized with the Christian, getting in the church on Sundays and Wednesdays if they're Christians. Doesn't matter who, Episcopalian, Catholic, whatever, Protestant, Presbyterian, but we're all God's children, and it's just Christianity is the mild, right? So regardless of which church you go to in your neighborhood, you're still a Christian. I would recommend finding one of these really big churches that is close to you, but that they have the best sermon, that it's filmed live on the air, that they have a lot of very a lot of singing, and then they've got the choir, and then they've got uh, the whole rest of the church. Everybody's either reading passages or they're singing, the choir is singing, and preachers preach. Yeah, I think that's good. Get them there on Sundays. On Wednesdays, get them back there for Bible study. Or you can do Bible study on the weekends if that fits your schedule better. If they don't have video or some sports or outdoor activities that they're involved in, or stuff like that. So get the minutes filled up for them. Fill them up for them. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to get up at this time, which is very early. And you're going to get up, you're immediately going to go take a shower standing up. You're going to wash your entire body with a washcloth behind the ears, in the ears. You're going to shampoo your hair and put some conditioner in it. Oh, it looks like that. That's what you do when you first get up. By 7:30, I want you downstairs in the kitchen. Have them a freshly prepared, healthy meal, especially if we're going the route of sports. So if they're going to be football players, give them all the calories as you consult with your doctors. Okay, tell them what they want to go, and regardless of what they want to do, a good dietitian will be able to tell you exactly what they need to be eating. So if they're going to be a Michael Phelps, do his calorie intake. Okay, have them do his. They'll end up growing tall and stuff like that. Also, if they're tall already, then they'll be Michael Phelps. To get them involved in the whatever you can, teach them how to swim. My grandfather threw me in the backyard pool when I was 4 years old, and I learned how to swim. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I learned how to swim by that. Pops did that to me. Guess what? I learned how to swim. The next thing he said, here's some iron roller skates. They're very heavy. I do not want to see one of you kids anywhere near that swimming pool with these skates on. Yes, Pops? Me? Yes, Pops? That's the first thing I did. Went and strapped them on and went to the swimming pool. You know what Pops did? He came and got me. He tied the longest garden hose that he had around my stomach. And he kicked me into the pool and let me sink in the deep end. Scared the living shit out of me. I thought I was going to die. Guess what? He was there holding that hose. And before I lost my breath, he pulled me back up and said, please, no, don't let me see you again right again. Okay. I was scared to death. Never did it again. Right? Getting involved in stuff. Growing, if you got, like a farm ranch type situation, always getting out, working in the fields, doing the chores in the morning, maybe gathering eggs or getting some fresh milk from the dairy, uh, and having fresh from the farm to the table, your farm, your table. Okay, makes sense. Doesn't cost anything because you're already a farm, so you don't have to go to the grocery store. You just grow your own stuff and put it in your on your refrigerator and on your own table, morning, noon, and night. It's typically, I think it's really good, and I hope some of y'all will use that if you're on a farm. If you're on a ranch with horses, cows, chickens, goats, ducks, geese, guinea, peacocks, any of those things. If you have any kind of animals on your farm, have a set of chores for your kids to do for 1 hour in the morning after they get up really early. Then have them come sit down for a fresh, high protein, high calorie breakfast that's healthy. Then on the weekend, they'll eat food. They're not always, they're going to cheat, but you can keep most of the cheating out of the way if you're there when they're eating. If you prepare it for your children, right? So you just say, no, okay, once a week, have a cheat day, they can have Pop Tarts. Pop Tarts are terrible for their teeth. Um, the sugar gets stuck in there. Keep their teeth the highest, brightest starting, taking them to the dentist as soon as you can possibly afford, and always put them down to number one for their health. Take them to their doctor regularly. The primary care physician will know every time in their entire lifetime that they need to get some sort of inoculation. So get them tetanus, get them uh, tetanus once every 2 years, I know that, and get them all the malaria stuff, like that, get the entire panel, get them inoculated. We had to do smallpox thing, everybody had more coming. So, fantastic relationship between you and the doctor and the children. Doctor, parents. Uh, Second, dentist, same thing, same relationship. You know, the dentist is telling you exactly what's going on in that kid's mouth, and you're going to get every cavity tooth, the, the baby tooth, okay? And when they fall out, you don't have to go to the dentist. You don't have to do anything. It's the natural way that the human body grows. They're young. They get the baby teeth fall out. They get the adult teeth. When they all fall out, you don't need a dentist for anything. Just tie a string around it and hook it to the closet door. And when they're least expecting it, you mess around on the couch and you know they got a really loose one there. You find you over their head and real quick, the ninja, grab that one that's loose. They won't feel a thing. And then say, hey, honey, how does your loose tooth? How's your loose tooth? I forgot to ask you. And they'll go, oh, fine, mom, fine, dad. Yeah, which one is it again? They'll stick their finger up there and to watch the kid do this. It's just one of the joyful things that can ever happen in life. It is pure comedy for everybody, the children included. So they're just asking, you just ask them questions about how they are and how's their teeth and which one is it? What's that? So they get confused. It's not there. It fell out. And then you can go, oh, honey, see if you can find it and put it under your pillow for the tooth fairy. They'll leave you, whatever you can, as what you can afford. Tooth fairy money helps the kids with their uh, fantasy type of stuff. Fairy tales and fantasy shape children's things. I'm sorry, we all know it. We all grew up, and most of them that are my age have great grandchildren by now. And if you follow some of these things, I hope you will, and I hope it helps you have a healthy, happy, spiritual family. and the highest involvement in the community and church, in music. Find out what they watch them when they're young. And they start kind of dancing around, and they start pretending like they're playing the guitar and something like that. And just ask them, hey, honey, um, what do you want to? What instrument would you like to be able to play when you're grown up? You don't have to. What do you think? No, the guitar, drums, ukulele, whatever, woodwinds, oboe, tuba. Come on, we need a tuba. They should just all go out of business and come work for me because your business went down. Um, just get rid of tubas. The world hates tubas. I want to see more than one tuba in every classroom, or two tubas, whatever the music teacher wants to put in the band. Get rid of everything else you don't need. So have a relationship with your music teacher and your child. You know what they think that they want to play when they grow up. So that should be the focus of which instrument you buy for them and which instrument your music teacher at school will be training them on. That will set the teacher and the child and yourself up for success and sanity. Uh, a lot less. Let's get some of the depression and some of the anxiety out of your life. I'm going to tell you how. Follow some of these things. You know what I'm saying? And get your kids busy and stuff. Well, they're out of the house more than they're in the house. When they're in the house, don't let them look at screens unless they've done all their chores or whatever you guys have cleaned or whatever it is. Once they've completed that and their homework, screen time. Texting their circle of friends, which is very important for their social anxiety. It helps them not have depression and be healthy socially, mentally. I guess it's a way to say it. And what it does is it destroys social anxiety. You got to keep the kids in with the other kids, especially getting in some Republicans. Guess what? Republicans are already on the path to greatness. They always have been. They've been the best party. They've abolished slavery. Uh, and then KKK and all that. They're lying to people. Learn your history. The KKK and BLM and everything bad in this country's history was invented, created, and put in place by the Democratic Party. Okay? Study it. They're guilty of all of those things, even though they say it's the Republicans that are. We are not. We stopped slavery. We backed segregation, or anti-segregation, pulling in where we got the schools in the 70s to be all, they were shipping um, all the kids from the poor black community where I grew up, from downtown Dallas, the poorest of poor kids down there, and to my winning place when I started junior high school. And it was a rough road for everybody. We had all kinds of riots and things like that. The police showed up. They had dogs and batons, and they cleared the fields of everybody and get kids their skill. They take them the easiest ones, take them out first, and keep going and surround the real guys. And then when you get down to the last two that are fist fighting, have them apologize to each other and shake hands. But probably won't happen again. They probably won't grow up and go terrorizing the streets like BLM has been doing for the last whatever. From whenever they started BLM until this day, the only thing that they've done is destruction. We've seen it in the news. We know exactly what it's like burning our cities. Okay? So I'll talk more about the police force in another chat. Uh, I'm going to sign off so I can smoke the cigarette I've been trying to smoke for this entire chat. And that guy has been empty since we had it for lunch. We're going to have another beer and I'm going to smoke a couple of cigarettes. And I'm having a welcome home party at my house with a few of my friends. And I'm going to have that uh, video tape just because I'm getting back. I've been out of, nobody knows where I've been for the past 5 years. I've been trying to get to Jesus. But Jesus said, no, you're not coming. And nobody else knew that. I've been in the hospitals and just had so many surgeries for so long that no, your health is all you've got. Then your reputation. Okay. Then your philosophy. Then your all of your personal beliefs, whether it's religious or whether it has to do with something that's, whatever the topic is going on, that in America today, whatever you think, whether it's the deficit, whether it's the rate of inflation, whether it is um, getting a better job for yourself and to put money for the kids' college fund in the bank. Okay, something to think about. And I got baby. I got to meet what's Chad Payton. I wasn't disappointed at him. So again, if anybody knows how to get in touch with him, do me a favor. I'm working hard today with this. I need a shower, a bunch of cigarettes, and then I need to quit smoking. Just don't do it. Don't vape. Do not smoke cigarettes. Let's put the cigarettes out of business. Let's put the tobacco companies, let's put them on our knees. Let's all give up smoking, and then they won't be able to sell any tobacco, and they'll start having financial problems, and they'll figure out what to do to make up for that and start bringing a high amount of dividends back into their company. It doesn't have to be cigarettes anymore. They go say, okay, we're just not, it's time for us to get healthy and kill cigarettes. So we're just going to stop making them altogether. Same with cigars, same with vapes. Okay? Let's stop all of it. Let's contact who we need to, our governors, our House speakers, our congressmen, our senators, everybody that we need to have the message of we want change. We want real MAGA change. Figure out who they are and start writing the top topics. So make a list of the things that really piss you off about what's going on in America today. Bombs them down. Because I can't see any sense in anything they do. Not one thing that is on their agenda or their new debt ceiling. I, I haven't read it, but I think the entire thing needs to be torn up and eradicated. I'm serious about this, and this is a conversation, so I want you to start having this discussion. So let's get out today. I'm going to be working for the RNC, okay, as part of my give back agenda that I have for my legacy. And so I will be joining the Republican Party as a staffer, volunteer staffer, and a professional consultant. And I hope to meet President Trump he'll get some more messages because of these people are going to do it. And all of a sudden, I'm going to be on every one of the liberal TV channels with just what I'm saying to you right now. And they're going to have to play it because they got nothing else to play. They're not going to play anything about Hillary. They're not going to play anything about Burisma. They're not going to play anything about Hunter, right? They're not going to play anything about the documents that were in Biden's garage completely illegally. That's a word about it. Let's say it for them, okay? Let's ask our people in whatever, if you're a Republican, let's ask our leaders around the world, and certainly here in the U.S. So here's my agenda for what I would like to see fixed in the government through Congress, who holds the purse strings. You always make money, you follow the money, right? When you're trying to catch somebody like Joe or Hunter, or any of this Ukrainian, the Ukrainians and the Chinese were the ones that started doing bad, dirty business with all of the entire DOJ, top down. Okay, Ukrainians. Well, guess what? So let's stop sending them some of the money until we start making some money and we start paying down our own debts. Okay, so let's do anything to balance our checkbook, and then after that, let's give them every penny they need from a military standpoint, from a war standpoint, from a Europe versus the rest of the world standpoint, viewpoint, politics. That's what it is. Okay. So talk to your local constituents about that. Anytime you're visiting with friends, if you've got somebody that you know is the same political affiliation, then you'd probably feel free talking about politics. Send them this show and just say, this guy's kind of an idiot. I don't know what he was talking about for so long, but he did make a point, a couple of points at the end. And I want you to voice it for your family, for your faith, for your children, for their education, for their future. And the future that the world that we leave behind, let's leave it better than we found it, so that when they're getting out of college, whatever they're going into, whether it's medicine, politics, or whatever like that, then they'll be able to, in college, they can start working for the RNC as staffers and volunteers and stuff like that. Those great on resumes, by the way. Then get them donating. Let's get them started in something that they can give to besides that. So we'll set them up with multiple resumes before they even have them. Okay. Send them when they're 8 years old to the local barbershops. Let's do that. All the local barbershops and the soda fountains that are left in the country. I think the only soda fountain left is somewhere in South Dakota, the drugstore. It's not the coolest place in the world. Look it up. Join as many Facebook social groups as you can for what you believe in and what you got to do. Join groups, join by the dozens that go with your faith, that go with your political views, that go with what you think should be the political agenda for make America great again. Everybody get out and knock on doors everywhere. Send text, send tweets, send Facebook, send whatever, MAGA. Okay? 2024. Now, the 2024, God bless Donald Trump. I mean, he's one of the most successful. He doesn't have to do this. Oh, he's a billionaire. He's doing this because he cares about what happens to this country. That's why he's, given up 4 years of his billionaire stuff and walked away from his business and a bunch of his holdings and didn't take a salary. Let's remember that when he was in office, he didn't accept a salary. So that right there saved the coffers, I forget whatever it was, uh, per month. I think it was something like 44,000 or better per month for 4 years. $400,000 a year is what it is. $400,000 a year for 4 years that, that we didn't have to pay to the commander in chief because he didn't want it. He was worried about the deficit, wanting to get it back down. So he didn't take it. He did it for free. He went and fixed a bunch of shit like immigration. He rolled back the deficit immensely. Best we had in almost a member of history. He was the closest president that we've had to Ronald Reagan. So Ronald Reagan was my favorite president in the history of the United States. Number one. Donald Trump, number two. Those are the two most important men in the history of our judicial systems, of our political systems, our courts, everything. Our penitentiaries, get people out of there. Let's retrain them, put them to work for $40 an hour. They can go buy themselves a house. They don't have to pull it down. How's that? Just throwing it out there. That's it for now. Thanks for sticking with me. Just have a blessed day, a blessed family, a blessed future, a blessed America. Let's make America great again. I'm going to mean it. Let's elect Donald Trump back into office. Let him finish. He was supposed to get 8 years. He got cheated. He got cheated out of the 2016 election. Plain and simple. Watch Dominion, okay? Watch Vivek Ramaswamy. So he's one of their candidates for president. He's running. He is blows me away with how smart that guy is. I mean, he is something. Stay in touch with your local politics as well as Congress, senators, governors, for whatever party you're in. But get involved in your local community and politics. Who you vote for. Let's make sure 2024, whoever you vote for, I don't care if it's a Democrat, go vote for them. Do the same thing I said with having your kids go out there and volunteer, go to rallies, and let's go Brandon. Yeah. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I believe he's going to be the next president of the United States in 47. And his second term will be the most important 4 years in this country's history ever. That's what I believe. I think Ron DeSantis is the next thing since sliced cheese and sliced bread and manner sandwiches that Elvis loved. I don't have manner sandwiches, so I'll teach you. Bread, slices of banana, mayonnaise, one side of the bread, put the banana and the mayonnaise side. Now take your other side of your manner sandwich. That's what's called the manner sandwich. Straight, you got it straight from the side. Telling you, I know these. On the other side, peanut butter. Okay? So you got mayonnaise, peanut butter. You got slices of bananas in the middle, slap it together, heat up your skillet, and cook it like you're making a grilled cheese, but don't cook it as long as grilled cheese. I hope that makes sense. If the kids, if they're going towards sports, get their protein and their sugars up. They're young. Let's build athletes. Let's build soldiers. Let's build a society of future achievers and leaders, politicians. And let's get back to not all this fighting in Senate and Congress. Let's just get uh, the Republicans holding both. So my greatest wish, what I would like to see is Donald Trump the president. The vice president, I don't think Ron DeSantis is ready yet. I think DeSantis, honestly, he's just starting out. He's moving and shaking, baby. He is so loved by everybody. Let's keep him in that job for a while. He's too young. So he can keep being Ron DeSantis, the great leader of Florida, and the work that he's doing in the rest of the country and politics. Everything that passes through it is beautiful. God bless them. They're so beautiful and so honest. They are so focused. This is what we need as leadership. So I'd like to see Ron DeSantis and his wife stay, hold the government. I'd like to see Ron stay on as governor for at least another 4 years to get his resume, get his experience, his world history, and he can study people like, what was the guy? That they had the one guy that he was like Nixon's right hand man, and he went everywhere and did all the negotiating with all the world leaders when the president was not on the trip. Henry Kissinger. So we need somebody like Henry Kissinger today. Let's find a way to do that. I'll do it. I'll go anywhere. I'll go right now. I will sign up for any branch of the service that will have me with my current health. And even if it's like reserve, I don't get something just give me a military title of some sort. Or to go to West, but I'm not sure if I have time to do that. I'm not sure if I can even get in for demonstration. Probably can't. I'll find something else. I've got a local auxiliary down here in Washington. Probably get on not getting a local. So that's a bucket list for the person city. So again, this is Hal Pilgrim. I'm actually changing my name. My name is Hal Wilson Pilgrim Jr. And I've always loved people that had nicknames, but I wasn't cool. They just called me Hal. They wouldn't even call me Pilgrim, an asshole. That was no fun. And everybody else had all these cool names that were rich and famous. I never had one. So I'm looking to get my name changed, and I'm thinking that I'll just take my middle name, Wilson, and then my father's Jr. So Wilson Jr., right? I'll do it legal and just move on as that person and rebuild my life like that. And try to, work with these things that I'm talking about for my own enrichment. And just trying to be a better person and make up for some of the really shitty things I've done in my life. Not only breaking the law, but I did, I've got a very history. So I've got pulled over and had a handgun in my car in Texas without a concealed carry, but I've got an expired concealed carry. I just gone to jail. Where is my right to bear arms? My first or second amendment. Okay. I've been totally stripped of it here in Dallas today. When we were kids, we had gun racks in the back windows of our pickup trucks one shotgun and one rifle, and the rifle probably had a scope on it. And we were all, kids that were interested in guns, were all excellent marksmen. They'd shoot rabbits and squirrels and armadillos, and they would shoot. What else would they shoot? With the shotgun. So that was the life, with the shotgun. And that's also deer, buckhorn, any kind of large game, goes with the rifle. Okay, that's what. For the shotgun that's in the roof rack, my Chevy pickup in 1974, it was a 12 gauge kill. What guns are for? Something needs to be stopped, sometimes by bullet. It's our duty as citizens to arm ourselves under our Second Amendment rights and to help back the blue. Let's get our police presence up, okay? To increase all that money that you're saving from our defense, throw it at the police department and throw it at the military. So there you've got your budget for those guys. Let that for you. Boom! How about that, baby? And then all the other stuff I talked about, a couple of lessons I'll take back with you. So this is Walker Jr. on Pilgrim Productions, and with and also this is Prayers for World Peace. I'm being serious, man. It's following me along. I hope that you like what you do. I'll get better at this. Something like great evening. And if y'all are in Dallas, come to my house. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, come to my house tonight at 7 p.m. for Bite Night. Okay? It's going to be all kinds of neat stuff going on. Just a ton of people here. So those of you from Strokers, from the cottage, from the cockpit, if it's slow, wherever you are, I don't want to take any business away from any of us. They're all Heather and Patricia are my friends. I love them to death, although I had real bad behavior there. So I just stopped down there because I started to realize that I had problems with that, and that I was having problems. I still love everybody. I apologize. You're affected by that. Thank you. I've got somebody knocking at the door, so I'm going to end it here. Have a blessed one. And check out Pilgrim Productions.